Hello, hello, hello. Are we going? Good morning. We're going, yay! Hi everyone. Welcome on in. What a peaceful Friday morning. Aw, seeing everyone roll in. Hello. I know it's a Friday morning. Sorry if I'm catching you guys at work. Friday meetings should be illegal 100%. Just tell them to make it an email. Thank God I need something to keep me awake during these last 2 hours of work. Perfect. Perfect timing then. People should write you a doctor note to get you out of your meeting. I don't know if I can do that one. Woo! 50k! Yeah! 50k! Plasky, thank you for the 10. Let's go! Congratulations on 50k. Thank you so much, Plasky, for both the sentiment and the dono there. It's so exciting, isn't it, guys? Oh my goodness, where am I? Let me get my big face in here. That's just what I've got my camera named in OBS. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit of a different stream than we're used to. Oh my goodness, look at all the mice already in here. We love to see it. Yeah, so this one is, as the name would imply, is gonna be an AMA. If you've missed it, yesterday we hit 50,000 subscribers. Whoa! Whoa! And to celebrate, I wanted to do just a special little stream where we just kind of chat and hang out. And I put out a Google form where I asked you guys some questions. And today we're going to be looking through that. I'm going to be answering what I can. There are currently 317 responses. You guys have a lot of questions. I'm sure there's some overlap there, so we might... Well, I mean, we'll skip the overlap ones, but yeah. Can I really ask you anything? Well, keep it appropriate. I have the I'm gonna answer at my own discretion. Keep it appropriate, guys, and I'll answer what I feel like. My guy went flying. Yes, I believe somebody dropped a bomb. It took too long. You should have been at 50k on day one. Aw, thank you so much. Archiduck, thank you. Been subscribed since Battleship 1 came out. Wow, that is the start. That is the start. That is where the channel kicked it off. Okay, let me... Oh! I'm gonna mispronounce this and I'm sorry. Elites. Thank you so much for the donor there. Hi, Bieber, happy for you. Thank you so much. 50k, gotta add another 0 to that number at least. Maybe one day we'll get there. Okay, let me swap over to this screen is where we're gonna be hanging out. Sorry for the bit of a wonky setup. My template is for games, but what I've got is I've got my camera and then I've got the questions. And I've kind of framed it so that the first 2 questions in the survey were asking for your name, if you wanted to be credited, if you wanted to be mentioned in the stream, and then your question. And I'm just now realizing that, the mice kind of cover the questions. Don't love that. Let me see what I can do about that real quick. Let me move my big face down here. Let's do this instead. How's that? Yeah? Cool. I think that might be better. You know what? I might even... That is my whole overlay. I might even put it here because I know for a fact that... Yep, there it is. The redeems are going to be right in that corner. Thank you for checking on Clarence. Looks like he's still in there. I love the mice, they're so cute. Hi, first stream. Welcome into the first one. What an interesting first stream. We're not going to be playing any games today or drawing even. I considered making this a mouse stream because it's been a little while since we've done a mouse stream, but I didn't want to get distracted. I wanted to give the questions my full attention. Plus, I didn't want to like have a mix up of like, oh, is this a mouse stream? Is this an AMA? Like, yeah. So this is just gonna be an AMA. We're just hanging out today. Can you guys hear the music? I've been a little scared to put music on the streams because a few of them have gotten claimed recently, but I think Pocopium music, as far as I'm aware, is good, and this is just one song looping. Max, thank you for the 10. I have a massive appreciation for this channel. It's not only the entertainment, but something I can take home as well. It's all just the cherry on top of a glowing personality. Thank you, Fever. Thank you, Max. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for the dono as well. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna feel the feels today. I can already tell. Okay, well, I've had it up on screen here for long enough, so let's get going with the questions, shall we? Like I said, oh wow, we've already had a few roll in since we started. Okay, we're up to 322 questions. At some point, I might have to close this.
Thank you for your patronage.
Jupiter, thank you for the 5. I might not be here, but congrats on 50k, Peeper. I've been subbed since I found Zane and was so happy when you started posting I love you videos. Thank you so much, Jupiter. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I guess, yeah, we only started uploading seriously because I've had this YouTube channel for years, but I put like my old university assignments on here. Your boy Chatot, thank you for the 10 memberships. Oh my goodness. So generous. If you guys got a membership there, then be sure to say thank you to Chatot. Big W's in the chat for Chatot. More Geen, make chat Geen. But yeah, we've been doing this for I think just about 9 months now. That was when the first Battleship video went up back in October, early October. So the fact that we have already hit 50k is insane. Your boy Chatot with another 10. Thank you so much. Hope I'm not late, bro. Congrats. You're not late at all. We're just getting started. Good to see you, Chatot. Yeah. Okay, I talked about it. I'm getting off track. Let's get into some of these questions. We got a lot ahead of us. And if you guys haven't asked a question yet and you would like to, check out the link in the description. Do I have it copy pasted still? No, that is the link to the stream. Check out the link in the description. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, what do we got? First question is from Toad8. How did you and Zane meet? Subsequently, or how did you meet Zane and subsequently the rest of the side of the Pokemon community? Okay, awesome question to start. Very fitting. So Zane and I go way back. We knew each other long before either of us started YouTube. I'm trying to think of when it was because I know where it was.
Thank you for your patronage.
Just Henry Harvey, thank you for the 5. Using my first ever super chat to say congrats again, Peeper. Thank you so much. Awesome to be your first. And Bruno with the 4-month membership. Won't be able to stick around, but congrats on 50k. Thank you so much, Bruno. Good to see you here. Okay, yes. So where did Zane and I meet? Well, back in the day, I was very big into Minecraft. Me and my general friend group all throughout high school, university. We were big, I wouldn't call us Minecrafters, but like that's just kind of how we all hung out, is we had like a personal server with like the 5 or 8 of us at times, where we'd all just kind of hang out like after we got off of school, when we weren't working on projects in university. It would be on and off, you know, it wasn't like for all those years straight. You know how it is with Minecraft, comes and goes in phases. And there was one Minecraft server where, I want to say it was like 2017 or 2018. I'm gonna name drop. I hope he doesn't mind. Our in common friend Paul. I've kind of talked about Paul before in the past on the channel. He also does YouTube. He does Lego stop motion animation. Very awesome. Go check out his channel. It's linked in my channels on the page. But yeah, Paul was one of my great buddies growing up. We've known each other since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I've known Paul, and Paul moved away. He went to university, and I moved away. I went to university, and that's where Paul met Zane, and he was buddies. And so when Paul and Zane were friends, Paul got Zane in on one of the Minecraft servers. And so we started playing Minecraft together, and then we just sort of started chatting more. And eventually it got to the point where we just started talking about like games and stuff. We really wanted to make like our own Jackbox party pack back in the day, and we started talking like every day about all the games we would make for it and like how to code it, and like we don't know how to code, so like we were outsourcing, trying to find coders. But yeah, Zane always wanted to do the YouTube stuff, and hey, eventually it worked out for him, and I'm just happy that I got to be there along the way and kind of watch him succeed and all that. And then, you know, doing it long enough, I felt like, hey, maybe it's my time to take a shot at this as well. And then the rest of the lads, Will and Josh are both Zane's friends that he introduced me to. A little bit before some of the first quizzes, I had already been hanging out with Will and Josh and Zane, kind of as a group of 4 of us, just sort of playing games in our free time. And then after that, I think it was Shannon and Peter. After Zane's first quiz went viral, Shannon and Peter reached out and asked Zane if he wanted to do a quiz on their channel. And he went and he hung out with them, and he did that. And then eventually, I think it was maybe a little under a year later, that's when everyone started getting a little busy. We knew that we were going to need to kind of branch out a little bit more, and so Zane started inviting Shannon and Peter to kind of also participate with the quizzes on our channel, and that's where I kind of got to meet them. After that, I think it was basically the same thing with Sketch and Kush. Yeah, I met Sketch on a quiz. He was guesting on Zane's channel. That's where we got introduced. Same with Kush and with Chris as well. Except, yeah, Chris, I think I met through doing something with Kush originally, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, best way to spend a boring Friday at work. We love to hear that. Cool. Oh my gosh. If all the questions are this long, then we're going to be here for a while. So let's just keep on moving on. Okay. From Phony Pony Fazbear Zoni. Very fun name. How are you? That's it. I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a few of these. No, I'm over the moon. I mentioned it in my community post, in my Discord post. I'm not much of a numbers person. I don't like track to see where the channel's at. But yeah, hitting 50k just feels like a milestone. That's like, what, halfway to the plaque, I think, is at 100k. So very cool. Who is James from Delicious James? Nobody will ever know. I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question. How many questions have been submitted? We got 131, and we are on question number 2. So let's keep it rolling. From Purple Pikmin, what inspires you to choose the games you do? That is a great question. I don't have a clear-cut answer. It's a big mix. There are games that I remember fondly growing up as a kid. There are games that I learned about later in life that I enjoyed. And then there's some games that I have even learned about while making videos. And basically, I have this big, I won't share it with you guys, but I have this big list in a Google Doc where I've just got a list of games that are like on my radar, you know? Ones that I am aware of that maybe one day, maybe one day I will tackle. Hey Will, good to see ya. Do you wear wigs? Why do you wear wigs? But yeah, so basically I have a big list of games that are on my radar, and every once in a while I will be like, okay, it's been a while since I've done a card game. It's been a while since I've done like a true board game. Maybe I'll spice it up with a wild one. What's a game that nobody's really heard of? What's a very popular game that everyone's heard of? I try to go for what feels right on that list, but more importantly, it needs to be a game that I actually have a decent idea for. I don't pick a game and then say I'm doing Candyland. How can I come up with an idea for Candyland? I have all these games on the list and I go, okay, hypothetically, what could I do for Candyland? And if I have a good idea for how I would want to change Candyland, then that gets bumped up in the list of like, okay, well that one's next because I really like the idea for that one. When will you wear wigs? Okay, yeah. Let's keep it moving. This one's from 5 Raccoons. Favorite dinosaur? Ooh, good one. Good question. I want to say like a Brachiosaurus. Brontosaurus. Ooh, I'm not a big dino guy, but what are the long neck ones? The very long neck ones. I like those. Let's see. They left this one blank. Okay, how did you and Zane become friends? We already kind of covered that one. Cool, so I'm gonna skip that one for now. From WMF Fawn. Do you think you'd do something for Winds and Waves when it releases, like a playthrough or maybe a game remake? That is a good question. I will almost certainly be streaming my first playthrough of the game when that comes out. Now that I have a Switch 2, I would love to play that game live with you guys. And will I make any games around it? Probably. Yeah, probably. I'd like to learn a little bit more about the region and about Pokemon before I try to do anything with it. I'm not going to try to predict anything and base an entire game off of that. But yes, yeah, it's very likely. I like to base games around regions sometimes, around certain dexes of Pokemon. Winds and Waves is going to have a lot of unique stuff going on with all the presumably islands and stuff. So I'm sure there will be some fun concepts and some fun tie-ins for some board games there. What are the plans with the extra info below the question on the forum? Maybe I'll chat a little bit more about that later. JD Double Dubs. What is the origin of Peebdoof? This is an awesome question. Yeah, so Peebdoof kind of came about by accident. When I was first making the Battleship video, we had already recorded it. We had already... I was just editing the video. I was still trying to find out what formula I wanted for my videos, and it only felt right to do a tutorial on the off chance that people hadn't heard of Battleship. And so you can see in the first Battleship video, when I'm giving a breakdown tutorial of how to play regular Battleship, there's a Peebdoof in there, the original Peebdoof, before I got the custom model and stuff for him. Because I don't remember what it's from, but on Tabletop Simulator, I have a bunch of saved assets from different games. Like I have a Snorlax laying on his belly, I have some Star Wars stuff, and I just happened to have a Bidoof model saved, and so I thought, okay, well, I'm doing a Pokemon video, let's just have a Bidoof in there watching the tutorial happen. And when I was looking for other custom objects that I could spawn in, the default pawns in Tabletop Simulator I thought looked like party hats. So I spawned in a pink one, I laid it on top of his head, and I really liked it. And when I posted the video, a lot of people pointed out the Bidoof in the Discord, and I was like, okay, wait, I actually have something fun here going on. So that was when I kind of full committed to Peebdoof, and yeah, we made him a more specific model. I changed his texture. I gave him his big pink clown nose, and he became like the member badges. And now he's just kind of like the channel mascot. Yeah. So happy accident. Okay. Tales Scribe Mitch. There are so many, but here is one out of the lot. What is your favorite? I'm having a really bad day. I just want to be home until tomorrow. Movie or show? Ooh, okay. So kind of a... Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Fish Tyler. If you guys got a gifted membership there, be sure to say thank you. Will, I see that you got one. Nice. Cool, yeah. What is my go-to having a bad day, just want to be home until tomorrow movie? That's a great question. I love movies. I'd probably choose a movie over a TV show. Honestly, as weird as it may sound, I think Cars Disney Pixar Cars is a big comfort movie for me. It's not one of my favorite movies by any means, but it's just like it's such an easy watch. It's such an easy one to throw on in the background. Lasky, thank you for the 10. Sending love to William. Talk amongst yourselves. Geen Squad. And Aaron's here. Aaron, thank goodness you're here. What happened, Will? Oh my god, what did happen? Yeah. I have the honor of gifting Will a sub, lol. Yes, Cars. Delicious James, welcome to the Peep Goof enthusiasts. Hey, good to see Peter and or Shannon and or both of you. Welcome on in, guys. Let's see here. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, we got another anonymous question. If you could travel back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you say? Not a single goddamn thing. Everything has turned out, for the most part, pretty well in my life. And I am terrified that if I told myself to do anything differently, I would squander every single opportunity and lose everything that I currently have that is so great. So nothing. I would leave myself be and take a sense of calm, knowing that everything's going to be okay for that little guy. Cheater, what are you doing here? Mr. Peeber, you've Pokemonified and improved many classic board games. I just have to ask, which is your favorite childhood of which is your favorite child of your creations? I'm not gonna. Oh, I shouldn't be reading questions from chat. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep the questions to the survey here. I'm sure somebody else has asked that. We might get to a similar question. So now that Delicious James is here with us, who is James? Yeah, we'll see if they answer that one. They might just be lurking. Who knows? Maybe they're not even watching the stream. Maybe they just decided to go to my channel and become a member. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Dr. Stone submitted this one. If you got the chance to design a card for Pokemon's 30th anniversary, what Pokemon would it be and what would it look like? Ooh, awesome question. I would love the opportunity to design Pokemon cards. I used to, not to toot my own horn, but back when I did a bunch of Fakemon stuff for my own region, one of my favorite things was to do card art of my own Fakemon. So if I were to do one, gosh, would I just go for one of my favorites? I think it would be pretty awesome to do a Sableye card. I would say Phalanx, but I feel like it would be harder to do a Phalanx. Not necessarily harder, but like just more tedious because I'd have to do all 6 of them. So I think Phalanx would be there. Sorry, I think Sableye would be the pick, and I think, man, probably just munching down on some gems. I think that would be fun. And I think just in a big crystal cave. Brenzo, thank you so much for the 50. Finally out of that work meeting. Oh, anyway, happy 50k. $50 for 50k. Here's to many years more. At least 50 years, right? That's how this works. We'll see about that. I don't know. Gosh, I'm gonna be... That would make me old in 50 years. Thank you so much for the generosity, dude. I'm glad that work is no longer chaining, shackling you to the wall and you can hang out. Sableye playing Slender, great. Playing Splendor, great idea for a card. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or maybe just a Bidoof playing board games. That would be cute too. Like a Bidoof playing board games with his trainer. That would be fun. Your boy Chatot, thank you for the 20. My favorite Peeber story is when he bragged about fleecing Pokemon cards off of those camp kids. That's my guy right there, yeah. Yeah, back when I worked at the summer camp, I accidentally created a Pokemon card mafia, of which I was the godfather. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. We're 10 down, 344 to go. Space Cop Lee, what is your favorite / craziest video idea that you love but weren't able to do for whatever reason? Ooh, good question. I think there's not many videos that I've really gotten far into trying to do and then had to pull out from. I think because there's no games that I've started and then bailed on. That was almost Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard almost got perma-shelved before I picked it up again and actually finished it. So I'm really glad that I saw that one through, because that's from this poll, that shows that that is most people's favorite game that we've done so far. What is the craziest video that you love that you weren't able to do for whatever reason? Maybe Scrabble. I'm not saying that I would never do Scrabble, but very early into the channel, I want to say before Sorry, I was planning on doing a Scrabble but Pokemon. I never got around to starting it officially. It was just words in a document. I had an idea for how to change it, and then I realized that it would require hundreds and hundreds of assets. And the options are either I draw hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon, or I just use their sprites. And if I'm just using their sprites, then that's just tediously making 1,000, like 100, couple hundred to 1,000 tiles with not even my own art on it. I just bailed on the idea. I wasn't that into it to begin with, and it was far too ambitious. I can't do games where I need to draw hundreds of Pokemon. Oh my goodness, Will, thank you for the 20. Put Will in your next video. Okay, buddy, I'll hit you up. Oh my goodness. You know what? Oh, I can't say it on stream. I can't say it on stream, Will. Oh, I can't say it on stream. Oh, I'm contemplating if there's a way that I can tease it on stream. I think it would be poetic if I invited you to the game that we are recording next. Which is not the next video, but the one after that. I think it would be poetic if we got you in on that one for various reasons. That's all I'll say on it. Okay, let's see what we got going next. From Me B Grant, do you like Camerupt? Yeah, I like Camerupt. I prefer Mega Camerupt. Shiny Mega Camerupt. Now we're talking. That's a good one. Yeah, cool. That's a quick one. Oblivion Sky. If you could work on an official Pokemon animation, what movie, TV show, special, etc. would you want to help create? That is a fun one. Oh man, I want to say I almost had the opportunity, but I didn't. Back when I was working, oh my gosh, Delicious James, thank you guys. Delicious James, thank you for the 21. Don't put Will in your next video. Biggest off I got, says Will. I see there's still some tensions from Koo, guys. You need to talk it out, maybe settle it over a game. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. When I was working at Titmouse back in the day, which is the animation company that I used to work for, I remember, I think I can talk about this, that's long since been out. Titmouse every once in a while does get official Pokemon animation commissions. They make ads and stuff and animated shorts, and I remember there was one that I heard through some of the other employees that they had just gotten and they were building a team for, and I basically was talking to my boss and I was like, please get me on it, I don't care what you have to do. and he wasn't able to get me on it, unfortunately. They're very tight-knit about those teams, especially with big clients like Pokemon, so I didn't make it onto that project, but that would have been fun, and that was the closest I think I will probably get to being on those projects unless Pokemon themselves reaches out. $22 from BR Spies. Thank you for the dono there. Put Will in Delicious James's next video. I don't know if I have the power to do that. What is this bidding war that started? We're just pawning off where Will spend his evening. Oh my goodness. Do I hear 50 for a date with Will? Date with Will for 50? Oh my goodness. But if I got the choice to work on anything, I would, it would be fun to, I don't know if I'd want to commit to the series, but it could be fun to work on a movie, or an animated short. Hell, the stuff that they were doing for the mega reveals when ZA came out was awesome. Cien Appleseed, sorry if I mispronounced that. Thank you so much for the 5. Congrats on 50k. I would love to see a rendition of the old maid card game in the future. Also, shout out to Will. He was always my favorite. Aw, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for the kind words. I am glad that Will is here to see that as well live. Will saying nearly put in the $50 for a date with myself. Oh my goodness. But yes, yeah, one of the animated shorts I think would be a blast to work on. Maybe like one of the reveal trailers would be super cool. All right, from Wingding, love your font by the way. Where did the B in Peter come from? Come from Peter. And why the fish so coy? So yeah, I guess I've talked about my username a couple times, my tag. So Peter Koifish first came about from my Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram, you can type links right now and you can, oh, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let me go grab, you can type !links, or you can follow this link here to my Instagram, where I kind of infrequently upload some art and stuff. Oh shoot, did I just close that tab? No. Okay, cool. But yeah, so I had a few different Instagram accounts because I was trying to go big on Instagram back in the day. And originally, I'm kind of gonna dox myself a little bit here, but my original Instagram account was called Peter Koifish, the same thing as Peter Koifish, but with a T instead of a B. And that was like for all of my photography. That's where I used to upload all the photos that I would take. I used to be big into photography back in the day. And I knew that I wanted to have a different space to upload my digital art. I wanted a second Instagram account. I wanted a B account to my A account. So I made Peter Koifish with the B because it still sounds similar to Peter, and it's a little quirky, I guess, and because it was my B account. So that's where the B in Peter came from. And Koifish, I chose Koifish in my name because a lot of people mispronounce my surname to sound like Koifish a little bit. I don't know how much I want to dox myself here. I think my last name is out there, but a lot of people mispronounce my last name to the koi sounding thing. It's not, doesn't sound like koi. It sounds like something different, but I kind of leaned into the joke of everyone mispronouncing it, and I went with Koifish. Cool. Name origins. Brinso with the 2. Quirked up white boy. You know it. Dude, he got the sauce. Will and Delicious James should fight over who gets Will in their next video through hugs. Wait, do I have that? I guess we still haven't made a Will mouse, have we? Dang. I was gonna say, if you guys all in chat want to, I think that there is mouse egg. There's an egg one that looks like the Delicious Boys because it has like a little broken egg on their head. And then if half of you switch to the Delicious Boys mouse and half of you switch to a Will mouse, which I guess we would have to decide which one represents Will, then I could do a hugathlon. We'll see. Decide if you guys want to do that. Okay, how do I feel about Thick Chancy dating John? Is that real? That can't be real, right? You're making that up. Say psych right now. Nobody told me this. Oh no. Pixel Bandit 66. If you had the chance, would you want to become an official board game designer? 100%? Yeah, 100%. I love what I do. I never really aspired to be a board game designer, but I have always loved board games. And I just love designing and illustrating, and these projects, each one is just like a perfectly digestible size for me. Like animation I really enjoy, but those are very big projects that span over long periods of time. And it's not that I don't like that, because it's always fun and satisfying when it ends. But when it's me and my lonesome, when I'm not with a team, something like a board game feels like the perfect size project. So that is definitely something I'd be interested in doing professionally. I guess technically I am kind of building up a pretty good portfolio for it. Okay, let's see. From Mr. R3. Oh, real quick, I'm gonna read the dono. Dusk for Dawn, thank you so much for the $7. Hi, Peebert. I absolutely love your art style and all of your game adaptations. Is there a game that you would want to do that seems impossible? Ooh. I have a not serious answer. I've seen so many comments joking about Campaign for North Africa when. I've never played Campaign for North Africa, but of course I am familiar with it. For those of you who don't know, it is probably the most intense board game ever designed. It's a game that actually takes like months to play. So one, it would take me forever to learn how to play that game, and then two, figuring out how to Pokemonify it in any sort of way that does it justice, and then what I would even change about it, I have no idea, other than just a reskin. So I think based off of sheer scale alone, Campaign for North Africa is probably a never, but I'm not actually gonna say never, just so that there's a little hope out there for those that want it so badly. We will make Will Detective Mouse. Anyone can be a mouse. Just gotta chat enough. Yeah, that's true. There is a mouse limit, just so that my PC doesn't explode. So if you are chatting actively, so I will say there's two requirements to being a mouse on screen. You need to be actively chatting, and you need to be subscribed to the channel. Those are the only two things. You don't need to be a member or anything like that. Just subbed and just chatting. Delicious James trying to become Avatar Will. Do we have a mouse Will? I don't think we do. I don't remember drawing an Avatar Will. But yeah, if you guys are mice, then if you guys are actively chatting and subscribing, you will pop up in the bottom of the screen as a mouse, and you can change the mice depending on the library of mice that we got in the Discord. I'm sure the mods have already been helping you guys figure out where those are. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's keep it moving. Peeper, what is your favorite board game type and why? Oh man. I like card games. I really do like card games. I know those aren't technically board games. I group them all in together as like tabletop games, as board games. One of my favorite games, I've talked about it a couple times. I plan on eventually doing a video of it for the channel just because it's my favorite, is a card game that I learned in the south of France called Sardines. You play it with a tarot deck, and it's one of my favorite games. It is it's kind of it's a bidding game. You got to push your luck and bet. But I'll talk more on that when I eventually do the video. But that is a card game. It's one of my favorites. Coup, I really like Coup. The One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I guess those are kind of card games. But yeah, other than that, what other favorites could I speak to? I really like Train Game. I like Ticket to Ride. That's probably one of my favorite board games. I like Yahtzee as a dice game. It's really hard to choose. But yeah. I hope that's a satisfying answer. Totally Pro Gamer. Got the question, of the games you've played on the channel, both board games and other games from streams, is there one that you'd say is your favorite? And if so, why? Good question. I think there's two ways to take this. There's the board games, and then there is the other like friend games that we've played. I'll start with the friend games because right away I think I can say Mecha Chameleon that we played the other day was freaking awesome, dude. I love that game and I cannot wait to play it again, and I want to play it a lot more. So of the games that we've played for the channel, I think that one is my favorite. Of course, I do love a good game of Gartic every once in a while, and of the new Friendslop streams that I've tried, Flock Around was a lot of fun. Yap Yap was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one a bunch. And then of the board games that we've played, maybe it's just like because it's new, but Coup was a ton of fun. Coup feels different every time you play it, and I like the fact that it has like shorter rounds. Scotland Yard, Lumiose Yard was a really fun one for similar reasons, replayability, and I like playing as the detective. I like playing as Mr. Z. Good fun. Will is texting me right now. He says, add me to Mecha Chameleon next time you play if you can. 100%, bud. You know it. I'll get you in on it. I think Sketch was hosting the last one, so I didn't want to impose and invite extra people. But next time we're looking to play, or maybe if I host a lobby, I'll get you in on it for sure. And Sketch also just texted me. Does the carpet match the grapes? No, it doesn't. My carpet is blue, my grapes are not. Member from 4 months. Kathy shared some amazing mice on PeeperPal Discord. Definitely, yeah. Not only do I draw a bunch of mice, but you guys draw a bunch of awesome mice. We got a whole channel for it in the Discord to share your guys' mice drawings. The House of Mouse. Cynthia Mouse when? Oh, good question. Surely somebody has submitted that. Okay. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna count that one as done. Let's move on. From Madeline 590. What is your ideal game night? What games are you playing? Who all is invited? What snacks and music are you enjoying while you play? For me, D&D with my best friends while we enjoy some specialty popcorn sounds like a perfect night. Oh, this is such a wholesome question. Man, oh. I think I think my ideal game night, if I could make it happen, would be everyone that I listed in my community post. All my friends that I've made along this incredible YouTube journey, if I could get them all together for one big game of Werewolf, would be freaking awesome. Because not only would that be able to include everybody, but it's a game that I've always been afraid to try out because of how many people are needed to play. That's why I like Coup. Coup works pretty well with like 4, 5, 6 people. But Werewolf, I feel like you need like at least 6. So if I got everyone that's been involved so far in on a big game of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, or just Werewolf, that would be awesome. Of course, we all gotta meet up for that to happen. And the only person that I have actually met up with of the group is Shannon. I think it's only been Shannon that I've met in person. Yeah. Will do a backflip. Ooh, that's a good answer. Cool. Awesome. We love that. Yeah. Werewolf would be so fun. All right, moving right along. Bored AF. Bored and can't sleep. 09. Hee hee. Okay. Where did you see yourself going when you started this channel? Good question. I know I say that for like every single one. I can't really say I had many expectations. This was just supposed to be like a little hobby. You know, I was having fun playing the quizzes on Zane's channel. I was like, I kind of want to get in on that. I kind of want to do my own things because, as some of you may remember, every once in a while I got in the mood to make a quiz and Zane would let me host a quiz on his channel. There's a few videos where I host quizzes, and those were great. We got like the penguin quiz. We got the Mario Party. I guess Mario Party was technically one of my first games. Because what is Mario Party if not a digital board game?
Thank you for your
Dragoon, thank you for the 5. Should have asked this as my question, but is there a chance you'd play games with the community like Mecha or Gardic? Yes, there is a chance. I'm just a little fearful because with those types of games, I have 100% faith in this community. I know none of you guys are like malicious at all, but there is always that risk that, you know, you got to be careful with who is doing what in those sorts of games, especially with the power to like draw and create. Especially if I go live or something, maybe something just in the Discord where I'm not live.
Thank you for your patronage.
But yeah, I'm definitely open to that idea. And then Jay Agenda, thank you for the 10. Peebert, you've been an inspiration to me. I've been trying to find my drive to focus on art again, and seeing your art both for work and fun is a driving force to push on and follow my passion. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. You have no idea how much stuff like that warms my heart. Because you know, as an artist, I know the art blocks. I am all too familiar with losing your motivation and not knowing what to work on. So just hearing anything about being an inspiration in the slightest is fantastic. And to hear that people are getting ideas and figuring out what they want to do and explore creatively because of the stuff that I do is just warms my heart. And then your boy Chatot, thank you for the 5. It's crazy how beautiful friendship can be these days. Even from a distance, the ability to get together online is truly an amazing thing. It really is. It really is. Yeah, it is a blessing. All the people that I have met from all corners of the world. Frick, maybe I should get back to work. Oh no, can't you tell them to make it an email, Will? Just tell them to make it an email today. Okay, where did I see myself going? Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this to kind of become like a job. Yeah, obviously I'm thrilled with where it's gone. It's far exceeded my expectations in every aspect. Yeah, I don't know. Originally, when I started the channel, I had a couple ideas for board games, and maybe I was going to do some quizzes, and I didn't really know what it was going to be. But I really felt like I found my niche with the board games. I was doing something in the same vein that's fun, but like also very unique and kind of my own thing. And I just fell in love with it, and it was doing well, so it inspired me to keep going, and here we are, still going. Yeah, okay. How are you doing? Still doing great. Thank you, nobody, for asking. Oh, nobody asked. Another anonymous one. Why did you choose to make board games? Oh shoot. Well, I kind of just touched on that. Yeah, when I started the channel, I knew that I wanted to do something different. I know that there's quite a few. I don't want to call them copycat channels. I don't like that term because I think that nobody has ill intent when they try to, when they're inspired by other people. But I didn't want to be another quiz channel, because, you know, if I wanted to just do quizzes, I could just, you know, like I said, I could just keep doing that with Zane. So one of the big questions with starting my own channel at all was, what can I do that's different? And originally the idea was art games. I was gonna bring PokéCriminals back full swing. But I had the idea for Pokemon Snakes and Ladders. That was the first idea that I had of the board games, and I really wanted to roll with that. And I was like, maybe I'll do like a Snakes and Ladders themed quiz or something like that. Maybe I could theme, you know, my quizzes around board games. And eventually, as I developed the Snakes and Ladders idea, I just dropped the quiz altogether. I was just like, this is just a fun board game. And then I had the idea for Battleship, and that was way more fun to draw, so I did that one first. And then I quickly did Snakes and Ladders afterwards. But yeah. Yeah, board games were just fun. They're a good outlet for me to draw, and they're just fun projects at the end of the day. More PokéCriminals, yay! Yes, I've talked about this in the past, but I want so badly to do more PokéCriminals. I think I have mentioned this in various other streams, but there is a game of Pokemon Criminals footage that I am literally just sitting on because I have not had time to edit it. I think we recorded this back in like February or something, guys. It's me, Zane, Chris, and Kush, and this was like the first thing, one of the first things that I recorded with Chris, so it would probably be weird if I were to upload it like now, because like we barely knew each other back then. But the board games just take up so much time that I don't really have enough space in my schedule to carve out time to edit them. So who knows, maybe in the future, if I like find the time, or maybe if I ever commit to looking for an editor, then maybe more Poke Criminals could happen on the side. But I don't want them to overtake the board games. I always ever wanted them to be, I hate to say filler, but like in between the main board games, you know? Like the secondary, like the B plot of the channel. Any desire to commission editors? Right now I don't have the budget for it. That's just what it is. You know, Mrs. Koifish is working as a stay-at-home mom right now, taking care of our beautiful baby Koifish. And I am doing this, so we're living on one YouTube income. I can't do an editor right now. It's not in the budget. But maybe one day, you know, if we keep on the up and up. Throw Poke Criminals into a board game rotation, please. Yeah, well, maybe. That's what I'd love to do. I would love to do that. Yeah. Okay, let's keep it rolling. J Lucky Block. Why did you pick Peeper Koifish as your username? We kind of covered that one. Blank. Who's your dream/bucket list guest for the channel? Ooh. If I could pick anyone to be a guest on the channel. Man, oh gosh, what YouTubers do I even watch that would kind of make sense? Because there's YouTubers that I watch that, like, I don't even think they'd have fun with the board games, you know, they're not board game people. Man, oh, I hate to bring it up again, but it would have been awesome to get Chilled in on a board game, Chilled Chaos, before he retired. That would have been awesome. But now I'm like hanging out with that circle of people, so that's awesome. So that's kind of already a little bit of a surreal dream come true. Other than that, man, I don't know. I'm not as personally familiar with his work, but a lot of people have brought Cam Soda to my attention, who's another board game YouTuber. So quick shout out to him. Fun videos there. It would be very cool. Did I say Cam Soda? Cam Sandwich. Yes. Oh my god. Yes, Cam Sandwich. Do I like Cam Sandwich? Yeah. I've only briefly checked out his stuff off of your guys' recommendations because I see his name come up a lot in the comments. But yeah, Cam Sandwich is cool. I think that if he was ever interested in joining a game, it would be fun to have him. He seems like a fun guy. Who else? I watch quite a bit of like Smitty. I don't know if Smitty would have any interest in playing a board game, but he would be cool, I think. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like playing games with my friends, so as cool as it would be to meet some of these people that I've watched for a while, like, there's also like nerves of like, oh my god, wow. Duncan from Yogscast would be cool. Yeah, anyone from the Yogscast would be cool. I used to watch them for quite a while. Not as much anymore, but yeah. Markiplier, I've never been a Markiplier watcher, but I wouldn't say no to the opportunity. Radical Soda, I've been in chats with Radical Soda. I've played some games with him. Funny enough, I invited him to a Poke Criminals that we never ended up recording because the Pokemon Criminals scheduling kind of fell apart. Yo, Smitty mentioned, definitely. Smitty would for sure, yeah. Who knows, maybe one day. Get Moist Critical in here. Again, somebody that I haven't watched, but I certainly am familiar with them and would not say no to the opportunity. Yeah. Knowing Peeper watches all the same people as me makes me so giddy. Let me see. Let me go over to my YouTube. Who's in my feed right now? Who do I watch? Ooh, Russian Badger uploaded recently. Love Russian Badger. How Ridiculous. I watched them. Cass Vandepol. Watching them. Who else is in here? Obviously, like, there's Zane and Shannon and Sketch and Kush and all of them that I've uploaded. Let's see. Cheesy as well. Vanoss, watch Vanoss. Jetlag the game. Jetlag, love them. Salty Fish. Salty Fish just did a really cool Pokemon themed Gardeck, not Gardeck, Mecha Chameleon video. That looked really cool. That would be awesome to do something similar with them. Chilled Chaos, as I've mentioned. Yeah. Those are just a small handful of the people that I'm subbed to. Corridor Crew, Corridor Digital. Yeah. Yeah. Jetlag. Yeah, we love Jetlag. The new season is fire right now. I'm loving it. Fish. Yeah, we love Salty Fish. Yeah. I feel like Peebert and Nathan from Drawfee have similar energy. Yeah. Oh, I used to watch Drawfee back in the day too. Yeah, it's been a minute. Magic the Noah. I do watch Magic the Noah. He didn't come up because I don't think he's uploaded recently. Yeah, Noah seems like a cool guy. I think the Delicious Boys have had a few games with him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. How about other Peter's mom? Sure. Why not? That's a fun question. Good one. Quick Ball on Discord. Let's see. Blood on the Blood on the Clock Tower, but Pokemon when? Oh god. Yes, okay. Oh my gosh, get ready to gasp, everybody. I've never heard of Blood on the Clock Tower. I hadn't heard of it before everybody commented it on the Coup video. I have since looked into it. It looks like a very fun game. I haven't done like an in-depth detailed how to play video yet, but when I uploaded Coup and I talked about it being one of my favorite social deception games, everybody was like, well, obviously you've never even heard of Blood on the Clock Tower then, because that is just objectively the best one. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into it more, but currently it is one that I am not super familiar with. So if it were to happen, it wouldn't be for a little while. One, because I'd need to learn it before I even get any ideas about it. And two, because we just did a social deception game, guys. I like to spice it up and mix it up. So the next game is not going to be a social deception game. Lots of fun drawings though. Yeah, no, I like the box. I like the cursed art style. Looks very cool. It looks like a fun one. I'm glad that you guys have put that one on my radar. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna hydrate. It's been a second. I'm thirsty. Hydrate, everyone. Drink break. Okay. What is next? Just Jen Harvey, what is your process when it comes to Fakemon designs? Oh, we're getting into some Fakemon chatting. Awesome, I love it. Okay. Okay. Oh, this takes me back. It's been a minute since I've been doing Fakemon stuff, but concept is, you want a good concept to start with. You want to start with something that justifies itself, and not to sound pretentious when I say that, but like just throwing an idea to the wall and hoping that it sticks will almost always fall. You want to justify your own actions, your own decisions when you are making a choice. So like, oh, it's not just, I want to do a scorpion Pokemon. How can I do a scorpion Pokemon? It's, okay, if I'm going to do a scorpion Pokemon, what makes that work? So for example, I just pulled Scorpion out of the blue here. So what Pokemon do we have already? We have Skorupi. We have Drapion, I guess, to an extent. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's kind of it for Scorpions. So if I were to do a Scorpion Pokemon, I would not touch Poison type. I know that may sound crazy for a Scorpion, but Skorupi is Poison Bug. So if I make a Poison Bug Scorpion type, a Poison Bug type Scorpion Pokemon, pointless. So something new to it. What would I do? Scorpions live in deserts. There's the heat. Scorpion stings burn. So probably a fire type. Actually, maybe I could see a fire poison type or a fire bug type working for a scorpion. And that alone is a little bit of a concept. Again, you could take it somewhere completely different. I always thought that the tip of a scorpion tail looks kind of like a paintbrush. So maybe you could do like a bug normal type, make it a bit of a painter, where it uses its venom, kind of like Grafaiai, to like paint with the brush of its tail. I'm getting way too much into detail here, but like, yeah, I think the core of what I'm saying is get a good idea when, and then the rest should flow naturally. When you're actually designing it, there are different references to the actual creature you're referencing or item or whatever it may be that you could pull in from. But yeah. And sometimes you just want to do different. Yeah, fire ground, that would be a good one. Yeah, that would be a good type for a scorpion. Totally. Cool. I hope that answers your question, Jen. Let's keep it going. Baku gone. How do you choose which board game to Pokemonify? Is it based off your favorite games, or is there another layer? I briefly talked about it, but it's been a minute, so I'll quickly go over it again. I've got a list of board games that are on my radar, and some of the factors that go into it are, well, what haven't we played in a while? What type of game has been missing from the channel, and what do I have a good idea for that I'd like to develop further? And also just what's achievable. But all those things go into what we pick. Okay. Sincerely, Soul. Oh, this is a long one. Is this getting cut? No. Okay. Using the knowledge you gained so far via all these projects, would you ever consider designing your own board game in the future? What genre would it hypothetically be? And if it's not in the cards yet, what area do you feel like you need to study and practice more? I feel like I definitely could. I feel like the area that I need to study and practice more is business. I don't know how I would get it out there. Like, other than, like, I could talk about it on YouTube, but like, I don't know how to reach out to like printers or marketers or distributors. That's the part where I'm clueless. So like, I could have fun designing the shit out of a board game, and then I would just sit on it because I don't know how to actually sell it. So that's definitely where I could learn more. Bieber, please tell Cola and Elmo I say pss, 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 pss. I will, Aaron. I will. I don't know. Have they been in and out? I left my office door open today, so they are free to come by. You can buy a printer? Okay, not like that. I thought that was an emoji that got glitched. Is that Baby Shark on the bed? Yes. Yes, it is. Will is texting me saying, bro, you know, if you made a board game, I could help you sell it. Will is a business person, actually. Ooh, the dots are clicking. Dots are clicking. There we go. Bieber board game Kickstarter. Maybe one day. I have ideas, guys. There's one game. Oh, I'm not ready to share it. There's one custom game that's not Pokemon at all related that I've been working on in the background for a long time that is an idea I'm confident with that one day I would love to make happen. But again, because of the limitations I mentioned, I don't know when that would happen. It's a card game idea. It's a card game idea. Certified business guy, says Will. Yes, sorry, I was talking about it and I briefly jumped off of it. That is a Baby Shark. I got that the first day that I found out I was going to be working on Baby Shark. I got that plush. I got the job. They offered me the contract. I wasn't allowed. I was still on NDA. I couldn't talk about it. My mom was visiting that week, and I told her, "Can we walk around?" Because I knew there was a toy store in the area. And she was like, "Yeah, let's go for a walk." And so I went into the toy store. I was like, "Could I just stop in here for a second?" And she was like, "Yeah, of course." And I bought the Baby Shark, and she's like, "So you're just getting that for yourself?" And I was like, "Yep, no reason." But yeah. And then I did that for 5 years. Okay. Lucky Yun. Why Pokemonify board games specifically? Like, I know the answer is pretty obvious, but wondering why you did it over other media, of any. And if you're open to other media, what would you do? Maybe Pokemon D&D with the gang? Fingers crossed. I don't think I would ever do Pokemon D&D because I am not a D&D guy, as much as that might surprise some people.
Thank you for your patronage.
Oh my goodness, Leighton! Thank you so much for the 20. I have loved your board game series. May I recommend checking out the Isle of Cats? The goal is collecting different cat on a boat, and different shapes. Be perfect for your Pokemon theme, and I can always see a way, and I can see ways you can enhance it. Definitely, I have not heard of that one. I will add that to my little list of games that are on my radar. Yes, cool. No, I always love hearing about board games that I don't know. I love adding stuff to the list. Zaranith, play. Thank you so much for the 10. My first dono, and it's for a printer. No, air fryer. Thank you. Guys, I didn't mean a printer as in like a printer where I print at home. I meant a printer as like somebody to like mass print and produce the board game so that like it could be sent to shelves. But thank you for the donation regardless, and the sentiment. It means a lot. What was I saying? Other media. Oh, D&D. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do D&D. Sketch is the D&D guy of our group. If anybody's gonna do a D&D, it's him. If I were to do other media other than board games,
Thank you for your patronage.
as lame as it feels like a cop-out, but like video games, I've considered, I think it would be fun to bring the Mario Party back again, the idea that we did on Zane's channel. Something similar to that. I know that's basically in the same vein as board games, but like party games I think would be fun. Bud Muffin, thank you for the 2. Nice glasses, Bieber. Also printer goals. Thank you. Are we starting a printer goal now? But yeah, if it was media other than Pokemon, I don't know. What would you guys want to see? Like, what other niche stuff do I guess we talk about Ben 10 a lot. I know a lot of you wanted to see Sketch do a Ben 10 quiz. Ben 10? I'm seeing Ben 10 right away in the chat. Ben 10, yes. Okay, maybe I'll look at considering making a Ben 10 board game or something. I don't know, Baby Shark game. Funny enough, I used to make Baby Shark games for my team. I don't want to misspeak here. And make any false claims, but before Zane did the quizzes with us, I used to do Baby Shark Jeopardy quizzes with my team, and I remember one day telling Zane about that, and he asked if I could share the template that I used with him. So I'm not saying that's definitely not what spawned the Pokemon quizzes. It's not, because I know he had the ideas for Impossible Quiz for a long time, but those things were happening around the same time. Star Wars, I love Star Wars. That's another great shout. Maybe I could do some Star Wars stuff. Yep. Yeah. I love Zane's trees, national parks, and bird quizzes. More nature stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to step on Zane's toes there, so I would probably not do like general knowledge trivia stuff. I had a idea, like I've always asked myself, if I were to do quizzes, how would I do it with my own flavor and style, and I had an idea that I was pretty happy with. But I just like how the board games are going, so maybe I would not do that. I kind of told Zane about the idea, so maybe he will do something with it. Yeah, I would watch a Star Wars quiz, Baby Shark quiz. I could honestly do any of those. Generator Rex, I'm not as familiar with. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's keep it moving. We got 30 questions and we got 358. Oh my good gravy, guys. What time is it too? So I got a recording later today. How long have we been going? Oh my goodness, we've only been going an hour. Okay, let's keep it going. From Subatomic Egg, what would you suggest to learn on, to focus on? What would you suggest to learn or focus on to any inspiring artist besides practicing? Tricky one. Because the answer is practicing. And I know you just said don't say that, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to say that. Find medium, experiment. Because that's not practicing. Experiment with different mediums. Find out what you like, you know? I loved art from when I was little, but I never knew that I wanted to do it for the rest of my life until I got in front of a, until I got to do it digitally. I love drawing with pencil and paper. I love painting, but when I got the chance to draw digitally with all of the tools at my disposal, I knew that that was my preferred medium, and I wanted nothing but to just add more time into drawing digitally because I loved it. So find a medium that you're super comfortable with. If you've already decided what that medium is, then look into what other people are doing in that medium. Try to study their techniques. Try to notice little things that they are doing, because and I hate to sound like a downer when I say this. I don't mean it in a pessimistic way. You are never going to be the best, but you are surrounded by extremely talented people who have been doing it significantly longer than you in every regard. Look at what they are doing and try to understand why they are doing it that way, and then adopt what you can to what's comfortable for the way that you do it. And a lot of the time you will see that like people are doing these little techniques, and when you put them into your own practices, you will be like, oh my god, that's why they do it, because it feels so good when you do this. That's why they do it. And then that just naturally gets integrated into how you do things. I know I'm trying to be super vague because this could apply to any medium. But yeah, to sum it up, learn what you can from watching others and do what you're most comfortable with, not what you think is best for you, right? If you love painting and you think, oh, well, I'm never going to get a job painting, I just need to learn digital art, then sure, you could power through and teach yourself digital art. Maybe you would even find a day that you are super comfortable with it. But if you love painting, don't give up on that. You know, try to work on perfecting that. Bieber, do you know that you are a little famous around the world? I'm from Brazil, and I'm really that about your videos. Thanks for doing a great job. That's awesome to hear. Hey, we love that we got people from all over the world watching these things. We got Australia, we got a ton of Brazil fans. Lots in Europe as well, I know, from the Discord. Yeah, no, it's awesome to see such a big crowd of people coming in and enjoying board games. Cool. Yes, okay, let's move on. Pomegranate. Hi, Pom. Let's see. What is your favorite asset that you've made for any game? Excellent question. Oh, excellent question. Let me pull up my YouTube channel and look at my banner, because a lot of the good assets get into my banner. If you guys don't know, every time I make a new game, I add one or a couple assets from the game to the messy desk of my banner. Oh man, is it cheating to just say Peebdoof? Because technically he is an asset that I've made. Because I freaking love Peebdoof. Brinzo, thank you for the 5. DJ Peter said something similar to the bracket, on the bracket stream. He likes seeing artists in his community that are better than him so he can learn from them. Exactly. You're never going to be the best, so look at the people that are better than you and learn from them. And hey, one day maybe you'll find that you feel that you can't learn anything, and then maybe you're the best. Yeah. Gosh, if it's not cheating to say, I would say Peebdoof is probably my favorite asset that I've ever made. If not that, probably one of the battleship pieces, because they're just silly. Oh man. Oh, it's so hard to pick. It's so hard to pick. Sorry is really good too. I really love all the Sonic poses in Sorry. Oh gosh, and how can I forget the Scotland Yard board, just for sheer prowess alone? Oh, there's a lot of good ones, guys. There's a lot of good ones. Okay, for impressiveness, for ones that I'm most proud of, I would say the Scotland Yard board. For silliness, that's like haha funny, my favorite, I would probably say the Sonic characters in Sorry as my favorites. Candyland has so many good arts as well. Man, that's a hard question. Good one, Pum. Sammy Wise Kirkinji. Let's see. What is your Mount Rushmore of animated movies? I love this question. Good one. Let me pull up my Letterboxd. I love me some Letterboxd. I think I told you guys earlier in the stream I'm a big movie guy. What are my top animated movies? My top 4 movies on Letterboxd are mostly animated movies already. Okay, yes. 3 of my 4 Letterboxd top 4s are animated, so I think those 3 would definitely make it, and then we'll pick a 4th. So we've got Ratatouille, which is my favorite Pixar movie. I love Ratatouille. I've never been a big food guy, but at its core, Ratatouille is about art and artists struggling to achieve what they would like to do and making it in the end. So I freaking love Ratatouille. Lilo and Stitch, my favorite Disney movie. Gosh, what can I say about Lilo and Stitch? From the beautiful watercolor backgrounds to Stitch just being such a fun character. I love the Stitch animated series. Faye Owen, thank you so much for the 3. Thank you for everything you do, Peeper. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So Ratatouille, Lilo and Stitch, and then I also have Song of the Sea on here. Song of the Sea, I wouldn't be surprised if not too many of you have heard of, is from one of my favorite animation studios, Cartoon Saloon. They are an Irish studio. They have made a few pictures. They've done Stories of Kel. They have done Song of the Sea. They have done what is one of their more recent ones? Wolfwalkers, stuff like that. Beautiful 2D Irish animation studio. They've done some Netflix projects as well. Love them. Song of the Sea just hits close to home. It's Irish. It's all Irish folklore. But being from Newfoundland myself, there is a lot of cultural overlap there. So not only is it just a beautiful animation style, but I feel like I'm watching like Newfoundland adjacent stuff when I watch their stuff. So I really love Song of the Sea from Cartoon Saloon. That's up there. And my 4th one, man, is it cheap to just say Spider-Verse? Because Spider-Verse is freaking awesome. Did you know Patton Oswalt from Ratatouille is in the Among Us show? I didn't know that. Just bringing that up for no reason. It is a great show, by the way. Yeah, funny enough, I think I talked about this in another stream, but they did the Among Us show at the studio that I worked at when I was working on Baby Shark. I don't know why it sat on the shelf so long, because they finished it a while ago, but it only got released like years later. But I remember watching that way back when they first finished it in the studio. Yeah. I think if I were to pick a 4th, I would just say Spider-Verse. It innovated the industry. It shook everything up. It's beautiful. I think that the style is not tired or old by any means, but I don't love that everybody is just like, oh, let's do Spider-Verse style now. That's because that's what everyone did with Pixar. Pixar innovated animation and everybody was like, okay, we got to get that Pixar look. And then Sony was like, let's shake it up. And everybody's like, yeah, Sony, like let's follow in your footsteps. So, you know, I prefer when people do their own unique thing. So I'll give Spider-Verse credit for basically coining that style, which is fantastic. And then, yeah, that's all 4. Ratatouille, Lilo, Stitch, Song of the Sea, and Spider-Verse. Yeah. No Ghibli! Oh, you're so right! Oh, you're so right! Oh, no. Okay, no, I will bump Spider-Verse for a Ghibli film because I don't feel that strongly towards Spider-Verse. I love it. It's great, but man, my favorite Ghibli film is Whisper of the Heart. But I don't think I could give that my Mount Rushmore of animation. I think if I were to give, because that one is not technologically one of their best. Story-wise, it hits the feels. I love Whisper of the Heart. I think I would probably just have to pick Spirited Away or Kiki's Delivery Service. I know that those are like kind of the stereotypical fan favorites, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful in every regard. Yeah. If we're just talking about story though, Whisper of the Heart is my favorite. is my favorite Ghibli movie. Yeah. Yeah, I see the chat erupting about it now. You guys know. You guys know. And if you haven't seen Whisper of the Heart, go freaking watch it. Hoodwinked on top. Get out of here. Okay. That was a really fun one. Thank you for asking that. Dead Trigger. Let's see. Why did you do those crimes? They had to be done. Obviously. Next. Sob 403. We know you like board games and Pokemon, but what other games are you into? Oh, good question. What other games am I into? I'm gonna assume that you don't mean board games. Like video games. I've kind of fallen out of it. It's been a long time since I played it, but I really like Overwatch. I used to play Overwatch a lot. I think I fell out of Overwatch right when they added... Is his name Wu Yang, the water guy? Yeah, I think Freya was the last character that I remember them adding before I stopped playing myself. It looks like they've been doing a lot of exciting stuff. I still watch some Overwatch content, but I'm not as up to date on it as I want to be. So yeah, that's one of them. What is that? Will, what is that game that you and I used to play with Zane and Josh? Finals? Finals. I really liked Finals. That's always a fun one to return to every once in a while for a shooter game. And then what other video games? Mecha. I've only played once, but I fell in fucking love with. Love that one. And then Antichamber. I'm gonna throw Antichamber out there. That's a puzzle game that I've been trying to get Zane to play for years. I want him to play that one, but love me some Salty Fish content in terms of Overwatch. People, yeah, you know it. You know what's up. That's, yeah, I mentioned him earlier. I like to watch Salty as well. Yeah. Peeber was an Overwatch player? Yeah, guys. Not only was I an Overwatch player, don't hate me for this, guys. You know who I mained? The pig. I was a tank player. I love tanks. I think I play a pretty freaking mean Zarya. Will can attest to this. We used to play Overwatch back in the day. He actually is already attesting to this in the chat. Nice. He was actually very good at Overwatch. Thank you. Best choice. Yay. Okay. See, a lot of Overwatch fans would chew me out for that because I think Roadhog has kind of become one of the more toxic tank players in the sense that not a lot of people get excited about seeing a Roadhog. I'll do anything to get that man to stand up again. Oh gosh. I remember the triple tank meta. Yeah, goats back in the day. I have played Overwatch since launch. If that gives you any context as to how serious I was about it. I played from launch until Freya was my Overwatch window. Even through the dry spell before Overwatch 2. You know what's actually awesome? Hold up, I'm just remembering. Not too long after we did the Gartic stream with Cheesy and friends, Elena DM'd me, Elena.exe, and she was in a Overwatch game. I don't know if she was streaming it or not, but somebody was like, "Are you the Elena that like I watched playing Gartic the other day?" And she was like, "Oh my god, yes." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm a big fan. I really love Peeber's stuff. Could you let him know that I'm a big fan and I love his work?" And she sent me screenshots of like the in-game chat of somebody recognizing her and being like, "I love Peeber's stuff. It was so awesome to see you on his stream," which was just surreal. Sorry for objectifying you, Peter. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't tell you to stop. When did we make a Stitch Mouse? A little while ago, I think. Peeber kneecaps are off limits, yeah. Peeber being a salty fish fan fills me with serotonin. Game recognized game for real. I feel like the Mr. Mime Funko Pop is watching us. You guys are just trying to get me to stand up again. I'm gonna stay in my chair. Oh, yeah, baby. I guess I should have mentioned baby koi fish. Baby koi fish killed Mr. Mime. She knocked him off of the shelf, and now he is footless. There goes his foot again. So unironically, maybe it would be best if I made him stand. I mean, fall down. Gosh, how much fun would that be? Maybe we should just do a set tour where I show you guys everything that's like around. Ah, great. Now my chair is getting caught up on my rug. Okay. Here we go. Baby koi fish knows the lore. She does, totally. Peeber, can you send a message to Peeber that I think his stuff is neat? Sure, I'll try, but that guy never fucking responds to me. I hate to see him go, but I love to watch him walk away, you know? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's keep the questions rolling. We're only like a 10th of the way through. Maybe we'll try to speed run. How was your day? My day's going great. Thank you, Noble Slime. Have you ever thought about making your own game? We kind of talked about that. Yeah. Have you ever played a board game? Avalon. It's my personal favorite board game ever made, and I'd love to see you Pokemonify it. First, I will quickly say, Cosmic Space Case, thank you so much for the 5. Extremely sad, but I have to go. Kitty has to go to the vet. Big congrats on 50k. I'll catch the rest of the VOD later. Bye, everyone. Take care of that kitty. Thank you for hanging out while you can. And thank you for the generous donation there. Kitty's health is very important. Go take care of that. Okay, yeah. Avalon. Am I crazy? Is that not... Sorry, I'm pulling up a window to Google it. Is that what I think it is? Yes. Yeah. These are by the guys that made Coup. Am I wrong? I've played this before, only once though. I think that the Resistance, Avalon. Yes, these are. This is a game by the people who made Coup. So yes, I am familiar with it. I've only played it once because I would always do Coup at our board games instead, or the Resistance. But yeah, if you guys like Coup, if you like the Resistance, Avalon, correct me if I'm wrong, is basically just the medieval version of it. Let's see. You are correct. Nice. Yes. Who was Peeber's main in Overwatch? I caught a bit and got excited. I was a Roadhog main. I was a Roadhog main in Overwatch. Either Roadhog or Zarya. Those were my two main tanks. Yeah. Okay, what is next? Sorry, I'm gonna try to keep it schmovin' here. I will say that I have a recording at 2 p.m. which is in 2 hours for my time. So I will have to wrap it up before those 2 hours because I gotta record. I gotta make sure everything's set up as well. I would ask what got you into Pokemon. What did get me into Pokemon? I don't know. I think because I was an impressionable child and every kid thought it was cool back then. I think that's probably what got me into it. I think if I were to expand on that though, I'd say that I've always been attracted to franchises with large casts of characters. My favorite show as a kid growing up was the Lilo and Stitch animated series, and I loved that, like, all of Stitch's cousins. You know, stuff like Ben 10 with all the aliens. I loved that. And so Pokemon is just one of those things that is like the epitome of that subgenre, I guess. And I guess I fell out of Pokemon a little bit back when I was too cool for it, when I was like a preteen. And then X and Y brought me right back when they revealed X and Y that they were moving over to 3D. I loved the sprite work, but when they announced the 3D, I was like, whoa, I'm hooked. I'm back. And X and Y is what brought me back into Pokemon. Little Aries-san, what is your honest opinion on Hoot Hoot? And what would you change if you were tasked with optimizing his design? Flawless. I think the only thing that I would change is that sometimes they animate him with 2 feet coming out, and I think that they should just full send it and make him a 1-legged boy. Just chop that second leg off. That dude, $5. Thank you so much. Just be 40 minutes late to record, like some people. Oh my god. You know, it's funny. I haven't even gotten confirmation from that person as to whether or not we are still good for today. We will see. No, I'm not going to be late to my own recording session. Jan Solo / Just Matthew. First of all, thank you so much for inspiring and reinvigorating, gosh, English, my artistic side. Drawing 200 plus mouse myself helped me a lot in both my art skill and mental health. Speaking of which, how does it feel to inspire so many people in chat and Discord to either become artists, board game enthusiasts, or just a genuine well-meaning person? Dude, that's so sweet. It feels awesome. I think I briefly got to talk about this, but you know, like, I'll just kind of rehash some of the stuff I said. Like, as a artist, like, you know, I've been in the gutter before, you know. I know what it feels like to have serious art block or things not going right and not being able to feel inspired and just getting down on yourself and kind of piling everything on top because of that. So being an inspiration or inspiring other people to pursue similar stuff, to explore and to try new things is a joy. It is a pleasure, and I love to hear it. It warms my heart all the time. Because at the end of the day, that's kind of what I do all this for, you know. I want you guys to have a good time. What can I make to help you guys have fun? So yeah, sorry if that's really short and simple, but that's a very sweet question. I'm really glad to hear that the videos are helping you find your inspiration and get through some tough times. And the fact that other people feel that way, it warms my heart. I'm glad that I can be that for people, I guess. Sorry for the long question. Not at all. Don't worry, Jan. I'm glad to hear that you're in chat. Sorry that glad to see that you're in chat. Sorry if that was a little short. I'm just gonna keep it moving here though. But yeah, thank you, dude. That one's a real heartwarmer. Ah, Nick. Turnip Nick. What is one game you really wish to convert but seems too big? Good question. I kind of talked about this one, but I mean, Campaign for North Africa. Well, I don't know if I seriously want to. I don't know if I seriously want to convert Campaign for North Africa. Let me think. That's a good question. I think I have an answer. But the thing is, I don't know if it feels too big because it's one of those games that sits on my list because I have a very good idea for it, but it would be a lot of assets to make. And that is the game Viticulture. VITA Culture. It is a game that my buddy, that being Zane's mutual friend Paul, introduced me to a long time ago, and it was one of our board game staples. The concept of the game is that everybody owns a vineyard, a winery, and you are basically fulfilling wine orders by optimizing how you put your workers on your winery and what assets you choose to develop to make different kinds of wine. It's a very niche board game. Wouldn't expect any of you to know it, but some people are recognizing it. Viticulture mentioned. Yeah, exactly. I love Viticulture. I think that would be a very fun one to attempt one day. But if you know Viticulture, you know that it has a lot going on. So it would be a hard one to do. I have heard of Viticulture. Good stuff. Good stuff. Who knows? Maybe if I have enough time, one day I will attempt to tackle it. But it is a very fun game. If you guys, unfortunately, it's a bit of a pricey one, so it's a bit of a hard recommendation off of Blind Faith. But go look it up if you haven't heard of it. Check it out. It is a very fun game. And yeah, see if it jives with you. Peeber really is someone really worth emulating. We need more Peebers in the world. If there were more me's in the world, you guys would get sick of me. I haven't cried super hard since Mod Appreciation Day post. I dang sobbed. Oh. Are there any grape Pokemon? No, but I won't give away what my idea is in case I do that video one day. But guys, just think about berry farming. My god, it's free. Okay, I'm gonna move on off that one. Good question, Nick. Okay, the Spark Song 119 from Discord. If you were a Pokemon, what would your type combination be and why? Excellent question. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think that I would be a normal and fairy type. I'm a big ghost enjoyer, but I don't think there's much about me that's very ghost energy. I like ground type a lot, but I don't think that there's much about me that's very ground type. I think that normal fairy sums up. I think that normal fairy sums up me pretty well. I think it also sums up board games pretty well. I feel like if the concept of board games were to be Pokemonified, they would be normal fairy type. Normal fairy, yup. Yeah. Plus, you know what? I'll admit it. You know, for years I have said that ghost is my favorite type, but I actually think that normal is my favorite type now. Since I've started YouTube and since I've started making more videos, with all the assets that I draw for all of my games, there are so many freaking normal types that I have come to love. And I feel like it gets such a bad rap for being the boring, the plain type, but there are so many freaking awesome, just normal guys. I love so many normal types, and I think I am finally ready to admit that normal is my favorite Pokemon type.
Thank you for your patronage.
Will is texting me. He's saying normal fairy, average yet fruity. Couldn't put this in chat, lol. Oh, I'm sorry, Will, if you didn't want that out there. I thought that you meant that the chat was censoring you. I'm so sorry, Will. You're right, though. Oh my goodness. Stitcher Sarah with the 5. I opened Procreate for the first time in a long time because of your mouse streams, and it has been very therapeutic for me. Congrats on the 50K. We love to hear that. Draw more, draw more. Will saying bro. You didn't say anything bad, Will. You spoke truth. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that, dude. I'm so sorry. That was not intentional. I swear to God. Oh. And we never saw Will again. Okay, good question. Normal fairy. Next. From Martiz. Would you guys ever do fan game / quiz submissions, like fans send you a quiz and you guys do it, and maybe they'll maybe they'll be the host as well? In all honesty, it's hard to say. Okay, I'm glad you found that funny, Will. It's hard to say yes because you guys are endlessly talented, and I have seen this community come up with so many creative board games and so many creative quizzes. But and that being said, here's the big but. The reality of the situation is there are a lot of talented people, and if we say yes to one of them, it would be very unfair for us to not say yes to everyone. We can't pick and choose which fan content we interact with, and I kind of learned that a little bit of the hard way because there were I did play a board game, a fan-made board game in the Discord, which was great fun. Which was awesome fun, and I would love to play again at some point. But the problem is, I don't want everybody to just expect me to be able to play their game, because at the end of the day, I have a schedule. I'm a very busy parent, and as talented as you all are, and as lovely as all your ideas are, I can't commit to playing everybody's games. I would highly encourage you to share your creations with each other on the Discord. That is a great way to share what you've made. If that is ultimately your goal at the end, if you just want to have that fun with other people, then the Discord is a great way to do it. We have a couple of ping systems in place. Want to play, want a quiz, want a game. Where, yeah, there's tons of people willing to play these things with you. And who knows? Maybe sometimes one of us is in the mood, and maybe we'll hop and chat. I don't want to speak towards, I don't want to put expectations out there or anything, but I know for a fact that Kush just hops in calls with his Discord sometimes and plays games with them. I know that in the past I have just hopped into Discord chats on the Discord. It's been a little while. I try to do it a little bit more sparingly now, but every once in a while I'll just hop into a chat in Discord. But yeah, I do love the idea. It's just I have to be careful about it, and I hope you guys can understand and appreciate that. But yeah, good question, and I hope that that doesn't disincentivize you guys, because I love seeing all the stuff you guys make, and I know that there are people that love playing the things that you guys make. We just can't do it all. Understandable. Good take. Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad that we're okay with that. Okay. Slice to dice. Let's see. Lumiose Yard was obviously a huge undertaking. Do you have anything in the works like that is anywhere near that workload? If you do, can you tease anything? If not, do you have any idea for a huge project? Okay, yeah, I guess I could, not to cop out, but I will say, like, I've had a good idea for viticulture, but that one is not really happening, to be frank. I think that one I would need to have a lot of time to commit to. It's such an ambitious project. All right, I actually got to go now. Bye, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Will, enjoy the rest of your day at work. But yeah, viticulture would be a good one, but it's too ambitious. I don't have the time to commit to it. What other games took me a long time to make? I think apart from Scotland Yard, the game that took the most amount of time was probably Train Game, Ticket to Ride. Just because Ticket to Ride, not only is there the map, there's all of the illustrations, which admittedly are just straight up reusing like some of the official art, and there's the sprites there as well. Still gathering all that stuff and then planning out the routes, planning out the map and the routes for Train Game was some of the most time-consuming stuff. That being said, would I take on another project in similar scope to Scotland Yard? It would be a hard sell, because Scotland Yard was probably pushing the limit of what I feel comfortable with in the window that I have to work on stuff. Would I do another game like Ticket to Ride? That's maybe a different question, because I feel like that is probably close to the limit of what I am comfortable doing. Train Game mentioned. Yes, Aaron is here. Ticket to Ride is such a big map too. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of work that goes into Ticket to Ride. I miss Josh. Josh misses you guys too. He's doing good though. Cool. I hope that that's a good one. I hope that that's a good answer. Let's see. How did you and Zane meet the gang? How did you meet Zane and the gang? Okay. This was the first question. I'll revisit. Real quick. I'll just say that yeah, Zane and I met playing Minecraft way back in the day through a mutual friend, and we kind of met the rest of the game through doing YouTube. The rest of the gang through doing YouTube stuff. Will and Josh were friends of Zane, so I met them through him. But other than that, everybody through YouTube stuff. A lot of people through the Delicious James Boys. We know that they love to reach out and have a lot of guests. And sometimes those guests will leave an impact on us and we'll just become good friends. I heard Train Game and I was awoken like a sleeper agent. Yeah. Which of the board games have you made do you... which of the board games that you have made do you come back to the most? Oh, good question. That's a good question. I don't know if this would surprise you guys to learn, but I don't actually get to have that many game nights myself anymore. Most of the game nights that I have are recordings or streams, because as a busy parent, I don't really host many game nights in private anymore. It's just kind of, not that I'm totally fine with the situation that I have, but most of it is like for work and for pleasure, not just for pleasure. Which one do I revisit the most? That's a good question. I guess technically Battleship I've played the most. Not personally, but I think Ticket to Ride, Train Game, again, I will mention as well, because that one we've played a couple times. And that one I think I don't revisit, but I see Train Game talked about on the Discord more than any of the other games. Whether that's through Aaron's love of the game or just inspiration to her inspiring others, I feel like there's a lot of love for Train Game, and I see that one the most talked about in the Discord, so there is merit to saying that that one is one of the most revisited. Or come back to the most, yeah. Cool, yeah, I'll say that. That's because of Aaron lol? Yeah, basically. Yeah, okay, let's see here. Dragon Ninja, if you could give one new Pokemon a Mega Evolution, who would it be and what would it look like? Awesome question. I am spoiled because my top 3 Pokemon already have Megas. I am eating good because of that. Sableye, one of my favorite Pokemon, got its Mega. Phalanx, one of my favorite Pokemon, got its Mega. And Golurk, one of my favorite Pokemon, got a awesome Mega. So I am eating good with the Mega Evolutions for my favorite Mon so far. If I were to pick a 4th though, I would love to see what they do with my boy Turtonator. I love Turtonator. And if I were to make a Mega for him, I would definitely just play into the big spiky shell, right? Maybe he goes a little bit like Igloo. But yeah. But yeah, I think it would have to be Turt. Turt would be a good one. Congrats on 50k. Thank you so much. Mega Bidoof when? Mephisto Elise. Apologies if I totally butcher any names along the way. How did you and Zane meet? We just talked about that one. We'll skip it. How is your day going? It's still going fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. Gremlin, have you had to deal with burnout / artist block / loss of motivation? If so, how do you deal with it? Asking as a recent graduate who is trying to figure out what to do next while being tired. 100% I have experienced burnout many in artist block many times. It's been a long time since I have though, and I think that is because of the formula that I found for myself with these board games. I get burnout when I do the same thing for too long. I felt it the most intensely after I finished the Newfador region, my Fakemon region on Instagram. I drew and uploaded original Fakemon for almost 2 years straight. Basically, it was once a day at the start of the project. I was uploading one a day, and eventually I missed one day. I missed my upload schedule, and I swapped it over to 3 a week instead of 1 a day. And I continued that for another year. And then when I finished Newfador, I was like, okay, awesome. I've established a fan base on Instagram. I love doing Fakemon stuff, which I still do. But I was like, okay, I'm done with Newfador. This project is done. What am I going to do next? And I told myself, well, I'll just do another Fakemon region. And I started it. And the burnout just hit hard. Because realizing that I had worked on a project for 2 years and it had come to a close. And the imposing thought of starting another one just like that again hit me like a freaking truck. I was like, I can't do this again. Like, I love doing it, but I just can't. So I took a long break from it, and I tried to find other stuff to keep me busy. And some of it was still Pokemon stuff, some of it was personal artwork. But how do I handle art block? I just draw, you know? And I know that feels hard to say, because when you have art block, what do you draw? Literally anything. I think one of the biggest hangups when I have art block is I feel like I'm never gonna make anything good again. I feel like I've already made the best stuff I'm gonna make. I don't even know what I want to make. How am I supposed to make anything that looks good? Don't make something that looks good. Just get something down. I remember, it's probably too buried to show you guys, but literally one of the things that I used to do when I had art block was I have one file with like over 400 Among Us beans on it, because when I didn't know what to draw, I'd literally just open that file and I just draw Among Us beans, doing different poses and stuff. And that was my art block picture. Like they're just little scribbles of Among Us dudes. But what helps me combat that is knowing my limits and spicing it up. And that's what I love about the board games, because they're relatively short projects. I usually finish, you know how it works with the upload schedule. I have a new board game going out every 3 weeks, and that is a very comfortable time frame. So basically I throw myself into this world of this board game, this new art style, because I love to experiment with different art styles. And I just focus on that for 3 weeks at a time. And then I can put that project to rest unless I revisit it in the future because I really like it. But I can basically lay it to bed, say that was fun, on to the next thing. And because of that, I have not felt any burnout doing any of the board game stuff. Because it's been paced, you know? Rinso, thank you so much for the 5. If Among Us can cure my several years art block, then there's hope for anyone. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you get so caught up in an art block, you forget that you're good, how good you've gotten over the years. 100%, 100%. Yeah, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is they see people who are really good at drawing and they think that that is just something that they can do. It is a skill that needs to be maintained in my experience, because in order to be, I am most confident in my drawing when I am drawing the most in my life. Like when I was drawing Fakemon every day, I was confident in my drawing skills. Now that I'm drawing almost every single day with board games and personal projects and stuff, I am really confident with my drawing skills. It is when I take long breaks that I come back and like a lot of that muscle memory is unlearned. And I go, oh my god, my line art is sloppy. Oh my god, how do I even sketch something right? And it's just, you literally just gotta push through the nerves and just keep drawing to get comfortable again. And again, like I hate to say it, but like the more you practice, the more comfortable you get with it, and the better you feel, you know? I think that's all I'll say on that one. That one took a minute, but I hope that helps with your art block, because I've definitely been there and I know the struggle. Alex Ryder 2277, have you ever thought about making your own board game, like brand new from scratch? I think it'd be cool. Yeah, I briefly talked about this. There's a card game that I've been working on in the background. I don't think it's been slow in the background, but I would love to. I'd love to make my own board games as well. Yeah, 100%. I would totally do that. Queen George, what crime do you think is what crime do you think is more likely Peebdoof has committed? What is the most likely? Peebdoof is a pure innocent soul and has not committed a single crime in their life. But if I were to say any crime, I think it would probably be having too much fun. If that's a crime, right? And if not that, maybe Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, stealing cars. He does that. They do that. Your local tax evader on Discord. How many of the Pokemon games have you played, and which one is your favorite? Great question. I have played almost all of the Pokemon games. Ooh, what is my favorite? I think it's pretty hard to not just say Legends Arceus. I love Legends Arceus. What a breath of fresh air. I'm quite fond of X and Y because, like I mentioned, that brought me back into the series. I've played Red. Sorry, I guess I've played Kanto more than I care to admit. I think Kanto Red is probably, I go with my favorite. That was the one that I played the most as a kid. I just love Kanto. But yeah. Okay, let's keep it rolling. We're making good progress here. From Wit, quiz, board game, mouse stream, other game streams with pals. Which is your favorite to do? Board games, for sure, 100%. I love the quizzes. I love sharing good laughs. But when I'm hosting a board game night, not only is it fun to just sit down and play the board games, but it's satisfying to know that the stuff that I've sunken so much time into is fun and making my friends have a good time as well. So there's a lot of pride in that as well. That brings it just over the top. Love the board game nights. My Discord name is I am Bot. Do you have a plan? Do you plan to stay in the Pokemon YouTube sphere, or do you want to expand out to different genres as you grow? I don't currently have any plans. I have a couple ideas for videos that I would like to do that are not inherently Pokemon related, so I guess those will kind of be testing the waters to see how they do. Because I love Pokemon, and it's a great umbrella genre for bringing people together. I love the board games, but be real, how many of you guys would have found the channel and watched everything if it wasn't based off of a franchise that you already knew that you liked? It's a great, I say umbrella genre because it invites people because it's something they're familiar with. So it's comfortable to stick with. It's really fun to theme stuff around as well. But yeah, I think I will experiment in the future and do some stuff that is maybe not as Pokemon related, but I will never drop it, I don't think. I love Pokemon too much. Let's see. Cool Guy Ba. Is it weird having your other online name not your actual one? You're Peeber almost everywhere now. And does it feel like a mind freak going from Peter to Peeber? No, it's very easy to drop the online persona. I've been Peter all my life.
Thank you for your patronage.
It catches me a little off guard when like Zane, for example, calls me Peeber, because he's known me as Peter long before. When someone like Kush calls me Peeber, that doesn't. It never bothers me. I'll say that, but like it doesn't catch me off guard because Kush has known me as Peeber for basically as long as he's known me. But Zane having known me as Peter for so long, it catches me off guard when he refers to me as Peeber sometimes. And I know the main reason for that is because of Delicious Peter, and there's no hate and there's no shade there, but like, you know, we're both Peters. He just doesn't have a second name to fall back to, so I'm more than happy to go by Peeber so that he can be Peter. Thank you so much for the 5, the iconic. Hey Peeber, can't stay long as it's super late. Always wanted to catch a live to interact with the community. Congrats on 50k. Keep it up. Good work. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you got to hang out and chat with people. Aegis, thank you for the congratulations on the membership for 3 months. Don't let Delicious Peter know. Don't let him know you like Legos. Okay, I'll keep that one secret. Oh my goodness, and thank you for the 5, Sayotome. What is your least favorite board game / one you just couldn't get into? I have an answer to that, but I don't know the name of it. There is a really complicated board game. You guys think I'm a board game guy? Let me tell you about my stepbrother. My older stepbrother who our parents got married after I was already away for university, so we're both already grown adults and our parents are just now married, so we're not super close, but I've hung out with him a couple times, and you think I'm a big board game guy? This guy is a huge board game guy. He's the type that has the entire wall shelf to shelf with board games. And he has introduced me to so many games that I never would have heard of otherwise, which I am thankful for, but is also very intimidating because he has introduced me to a lot of games that are like, wow, I feel like I need a week just to learn this. And there are a few games that he has introduced me to where I was just like, it's too much, I can't get into it. There was one game where we played as like anime magic wizard students, and the goal was to go around different classrooms and complete secret tasks and collect like these gems. And if we could find out what other people were trying to complete, then we got more points. And I remember it was really funny because I basically tuned out for half of the explainer, so I just focused on getting gems from one class, and everybody thought that was my secret class, and it wasn't. I was just doing it because I didn't know what else to do. Even if somebody says the name of that game in chat, I will not recognize it because I don't know it that well. Wait, that sounds so fun. I'm sure it is, but it's one of those games where it's like... I'm officially clocked out of work. Let's freaking go. Welcome to the weekend. Oh my goodness. Let's keep it going. What is the sky blue? Oh, why is the sky blue? That makes more sense. Thank you for Ice Ninja. Thank you. So I believe it is because of the oxygen in the atmosphere, the way that it refracts light, and that with a combination. No, the water is blue because it reflects the sky. Yeah, it's the way that light passes through oxygen. That's how light refracts. Good question. Thank you. Gadget Guy Gary. No question, just congrats. This community has been such a blessing. Glad to have helped you reach this crazy goal. And once again, I'm just gonna say thank you to you, and thank you to all of you for helping get all of us here. Because this is a community at the end of the day. And I know I got sappy over it, but you know, it is because of all you that this is happening. It's because of you, all of you, that I can do this, and it's because of all of you that I get to say that, like, this is my job. Is it nitrogen that's blue? Oops. Well, nah. Oops. There's your little science fact with Peter. All right, let's keep it rolling. This one is, ooh, long one. Okay, this one was left anonymous. Hello, first off, I am a huge fan of yours and the crew in general. The community is so wonderful and inclusive. But I have noticed the demographic of your is largely static. I'm sure it's just by nature in the community, but do you have any plans to broaden the representation in future videos? Collaboration with more female creators, LGBTQ+, and people of color is something that is lacking in the Pokemon community, but seems to thrive in your online community. Do you have any plans to have a video demographic that reflects some of the diversity of the community in future projects? It's a tricky one. Because as much as I would love to do that, I don't know those people. And that's not like a choice. It's not like I'm avoiding trying to know these people. It's just I haven't met many. It's at the end of the day, it's what people are willing to do. I'm not trying to be exclusive. I'm not trying to exclude anyone. I'm not trying to exclude anyone. I just don't know those people. You know, if I meet those people, and I feel like they'd be good fits for the games. Because at the end of the day, I like to invite people based off of, you know, making sure that we get along well, making sure that I think they get along with everybody in the group, and if I think that they get along with the game. If I could kind of speak to that, I think that having Blake along recently kind of, I know that he's a very big voice in the LGBTQ plus side of YouTube. And he was great to spend time with, and I felt like, and this is not, God, I hate to phrase it as sounding like typecasting, because I'm not intentionally typecasting, but like when I was putting together Coup was when I met Blake doing a board game with the Delicious Boys for Paldea, and I just knew he would love it, and he did. Forced diversity has never been beneficial. Well, I don't, yeah, it's a touchy topic. But yeah, I think that the point that I'm getting at is I do not necessarily feel the need to push for those sorts of things. I would rather they happen naturally. I feel like that's the most comfortable way to make it happen. It's not something that I'm actively like I need this, I need that, I need you because of this. Like I want to hang out with people because they're fun to hang out with at the end of the day. Yeah. Thank you for the 10, Ginger. 7 a.m. on Saturday, my back hurts and my brain is soup, and your words soothe me, funny man. I am very glad. I hope you I was gonna say I hope you're enjoying that soup, but that's your brain, not your soup. I hope you enjoy it regardless. Blake Jennings is insane. I've been binging his war crime videos lately. Yeah, I'm glad. Blake had me cackling. I also love his videos. I'm glad. Blake and I have been chatting on the sides as well about, he's such a wholesome guy. I freaking love Blake. We're probably going to be doing some more live stuff together at some point. Blake is just such a wholesome, he's one of the more wholesome human beings that I've met on this journey, and I would love to get him back to do more stuff because he is fantastic. Yeah. All right, Captain Bacon, have you played PokePath TD? You should. I have not. I'm assuming that TD is for tower defense. Haven't heard of it, don't know it. Sounds fun. I like tower defense games. Brinso with the 2. I mean, sure, if it means he'll take me to dinner. We're just gonna keep it rolling here since we are coming up on 1, and I am probably gonna wrap it up, guys, somewhere between 1 and 1:30, because I gotta get stuff ready for my recording. I don't want to hop right off of this into that. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get through all the Q&A stuff today, because there are currently 376 submissions, and we got through 61. So maybe, you know what I'd like to do? Maybe going forward, I will group this stuff with the mouse streams because they're good conversation topics. So I think we'll go for that. What were you like as a kid? Weird. I was weird. I was pretty introverted. I liked to draw a lot. I did a lot of comics when I was little, like little one-page comics with little quirky characters. I don't know. I doodled a lot. I wasn't the best in school, to be completely honest. I was the type of person that didn't really love to go out and meet new people. I kind of had like my core group of friends, and I honestly still talk to that core group of friends to this day. Most of my friends are friends that I made in like 2nd grade, apart from like these YouTube peeps, which have been awesome to meet. So yeah, I think this YouTube stuff has really pushed me to be a lot more social than I have been as I was a kid. Yeah. Honestly, if you weren't weird as a kid, were you even living for real? Yeah, good point. Good point. Fox at Gem, which Pokemon game or show or season got you into Pokemon in the first place? Good question. Good question. Good question, Caterpie voice. Good answer. So I think I briefly talked about it already, but I fell out of Pokemon for a while, and then X and Y brought me back. So that's a special game for me because of that. But what first introduced me to Pokemon, I think, was when Gen 3 was still relatively new. I remember the first pack of Pokemon cards I ever opened fresh on Christmas Day. I got a Whalmer card that I was very fond of, where he's like on a cruise ship. I wonder if I could find that picture. But yeah, so I think I got into Pokemon around Hoenn time. I was watching the anime, of course, back in the day. But yeah. Pray Jack Pock. Why Koi Fish? I briefly talked about it, but a lot of people mispronounce my surname as Koi. And it is not pronounced that way, so I kind of shot myself in the foot by leaning into the joke. Because my surname is often mispronounced as something similar to koi fish, but it is not meant to be pronounced that way. God of Lemons. If you and the gang got replaced by Muppets, who would be which Muppet and who would be the only human? Amazing question. If me and the gang got replaced by Muppets, okay. I think... God, would Zane be the only human? No. I think Zane would be Kermit. I think Peter and Shannon would be Peter and I think Peter and Shannon would be the Professor and Beaker. I don't know if the Professor has a name other than Professor, but the green guy with the glasses. I think they would be the Delicious Duo. I think Sketch would be Animal. I think Kush would probably... Kush could be... I could see Kush being a couple of the different Muppets. I could see him being Gonzo. I kind of see myself more as Gonzo. Sketch would be Animal. Yeah. Bunsen and Beaker. Thank you. Bunsen and Beaker. That would be Peter and Shannon would be Bunsen and Beaker to me. Who would be Bailey? I guess, oh man. I guess Miss Piggy to Zane's Kermit. That would just make the most sense, I guess. Kush Gonzo. That's what I was saying. I think Kush could be Gonzo. I kind of see myself as Gonzo. I don't know. Who do you guys see me as?
Thank you for your
Imagine Chris saying, "Hey, buddy," as Kermit. That would be perfect. I was actually, funnily enough, I was thinking of Chris as being the only human. I think Chris would be the only human. I just love the idea of Chris being surrounded by Muppets. He is a very Muppet of a man. Or is he a man of a Muppet? I don't remember. Kush has Rizzo energy? I don't remember which one Rizzo is. Is he the rat? Rada rada rada. Peeber is Fozzie Bear. I'll take that, Aaron. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll be Fozzie Bear. I would also oh, Kush might be Elmo. True, I forgot that the Sesame Street characters are also Muppets. Oh gosh, if there's any artists listening to this part of the stream, I would love to see some fan art of this in the fan art channel on the Discord. I agree, Peeber is Fozzie. I'll happily take Fozzie. I'll happily take that. In that case, I will happily give Kush Gonzo then. I think Kush would be a good Gonzo. So Sketch is Animal. Bunsen and Beaker are the Delicious Boys. Chris would be the only human. Bailey and Zane would be Kermit and Piggy. Will and Josh. Who would I make Will and Josh? I think that they would be... Oh, fuck, what are their names? Who are the two announcer guys that sit up in the balcony and, and watch over everything? Chris and Kush would be Bert and Ernie. I think that Will and Josh could also be very good Bert and Ernies too. I see Peeber as the dog that plays the piano. Can't remember his name. I don't remember his name either, but I get it. Statler and Waldorf. Thank you. That's who I was thinking of. I think Waldorf and Statler. Yeah, they would. Yeah, I think that's Josh and Will to a T. Yeah. Cool. That was a very fun question. I disagree with Zane being anything other than the Count because of the Count Bakula. No, well, that would just be Bakula. That would just be Bakula. Zane is so much more than just Bakula. Okay, very fun one. I'm going to keep it moving. Reality of Keaton. Which game are you the most proud of and that you made and why? Really quick on that one, I'll just say Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard took the most time to illustrate. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was really worried about it because it's a game that I think of the games I've uploaded is probably one of the ones that people have heard the least of, and it ended up being one of the most popular videos on the channel. And even in this survey, we can see that it is the most popular voted board game that I have made. So I can confidently say I'm very proud of that one. Yeah. We got Pink Reaper. What would be your last meal? Where are you? Gosh, I think if I genuinely had to pick my last meal, I think that I would love to have, oh man. I would love to have, I think, we call it salmon bowl. It's one of my favorite dishes that my wife makes. We call it salmon bowl. I love salmon bowl because it's basically you steam rice for about an hour and with the salmon, and then you mix it all in with Kewpie mayo, sriracha, shichimi sauce, shichimi powder, which is a very nice spicy kind of condiment. And then you mix it all together and you have some dumplings with that. I really like that meal. It's one of my favorites. I love the way that my wife makes it. Yeah, good one. I'd like some fish and chips, and I like some poutine. Can't go wrong with anything with salmon, definitely. Yeah. Nori, did you go to school for graphic design or something similar? Your board games always look so clean and well designed. Thank you. Yeah, I have a history of going to art school. I went to university. I went to Emily Carr University of Art and Design, big mouthful, for animation, for 2D animation. That's where I studied. I did that for 4 years. And even before that, I went to a special program that was a part of my high school called Freestyle Academy, which was basically a digital art school that you could do instead of some of your high school classes. So they taught me film. They taught me some digital art stuff. I was doing digital art before I joined Freestyle, but yeah, it really helped me refine my work and realize, and taking film classes at Freestyle Academy made me realize that I loved animation more than just digital illustration, and that's why I ended up studying animation. But yeah, I've done a fair number of years studying arts, but it's mainly, I attribute, like, I learned a lot in school, don't get me wrong, but I feel like most of what I've learned is just from practice, and it's kind of self-taught stuff. I'm not trying to sound like a you don't need college sort of guy, because it is good for its own reasons, but there's a lot that you can learn just practicing on your own. You don't need to go through university to do what I do, is I think what I'm saying. Freestyle Academy sounds like something a character from a Disney Channel show does for school, not gonna lie. You know what? It kind of is like something that you would do at a Disney Channel show based off of what it was. Freestyle freaking rocks. It was its own separate campus away from the high school, and basically if you get into freestyle because you had to apply for it, then like you would take half of your school day at the high school, and then you'd go to freestyle for the rest of your classes. You took your English class there, you took a digital art class there, and then you got the choice of web design or film. And now they offer web design, film, and animation. And they teach animation now, one, because they wanted to, but in part because my final project for Freestyle Academy, I did an animation. This poster, this is still a poster of my high school grad film, Teddy's Bear, which don't go looking it up. I think it's like all hidden now. I'm pretty sure I hid that shit. But yeah, basically I did an animation project for freestyle, and they were like, wow, this is awesome, I bet we could teach animation. And they like used my project to show the school board, like, hey, could we do an animation project? Like, the kids want to do it, like, look at this. But yeah. Cool. Darn you big city kids with your options at school. I didn't grow up in a big city. I grew up in, well, gonna sound so lame saying this now. I grew up in a smaller town, but I grew up in Silicon Valley, in California. So I was kind of near all the tech stuff. So I guess that does explain having good art options for school. Yeah. Grad film in high school, too powerful, man. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's how freestyle worked. It was basically pre-university. Yeah. Your boy Chat Tot, thank you for the 5. Got a rip, team. Once again, congrats, Peeb. Excited for all the great things to come. Oh, and don't forget to like the stream. Good shout out. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Thank you for hanging out, Chat Tot. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, let's keep it moving. From Silver XX, what is the koi fish's favorite food? This includes Mrs. Koi Fish and baby koi fish. Ooh, good question, good question. I kind of just talked about that. I love salmon bowl. Oh man, baby koi fish loves she's really going through a cheese stick phase. Her favorite food used to be cucumbers, but she's kind of over her cucumber phase. Now we just give her we give her a bowl of berries in the morning, every morning, sometimes some grapes in there. And she'll eat the bowl of berries and grapes, but once she's gotten through a little bit of it, we give her one of those like cheese sticks and she goes crazy. She loves those. Mrs. Koi Fish has a lot of favorite foods. There's quite a lot that she likes. One of her favorites though, oh man, I don't even know how I'm supposed to pick her favorite food. Man, she likes sushi a lot. I think whenever presented with the opportunity to not make something at home, she will almost always want to order sushi. I couldn't tell you specific rolls because I'm not a big sushi guy myself, but she loves sushi. And then myself, like I mentioned, I love salmon. I love salmon bowl. I love fish and chips, so I'm a fish guy. And then I love poutine. I call me stereotypical Canadian. I don't care. I freaking love poutine. I don't get it very often either, which is probably why I love it so much, because it's a treat every once in a while. But yeah, those are just some of the few. Warhammer. Let's see. What is your brainstorming process like? For which game to pick? I kind of talked about this one. I'll mention it quickly. I don't want to skip it over because it's been a minute. Yeah, I have a list of games that I have played that I like. And then if I have any ideas based off of those games, I'll try to develop that further. while trying to be conscious of how much time I have to make it. Yeah. My own regret is not living in Canada where I can get poutine. I know. Where is the best poutine? The best poutine is at a little place called Belgian Fries. There is a place called Belgian Fries out on can't dox myself. It's kind of far for me, to be completely honest. 1 second, guys. Be right back. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, Mrs. Koifish and baby Koifish just got back, and I didn't tell them that I'm still going, so I just wanted them to know. Can someone please let me know what poutine is? Poutine is a Canadian specialty dish where you take fries and you cover it with cheese bits, special cheese bits, like I don't know what kind of cheese it is most of the time, and then you pour gravy over all of it and you let it all melt. It's very nice. And there's a lot of different ways to do poutine. One of my favorite ways is called a breakfast poutine, where you do all of the aforementioned stuff, but you also throw bacon bits in there and a fried sunny side up egg. Cheese curds, thank you. Yep, those types of cheese. Cool. We briefly got to talk about the brainstorming process. I'm gonna keep it rolling. From Warhawk. What would you be doing if not your current career? Oh, good question. If I wasn't doing art stuff at all, man, I don't know. I'd probably be teaching, I guess. I like teaching. I have a history of like working in summer camps. So probably stuff like that. Pumpkin Pie Cat. Let's see. Do you have a specific brushes that you use in Procreate? I'm trying to get back into learning digital art and always curious what other people use. Yes, there's a nice Pokemon pack that I found online. I don't think I could pull it up right now. Maybe if I find it later, I'll put it in the Discord. Or if I know I've talked about this on other streams, if other people remember that brush pack and could share it in the Discord, that would be awesome. Other than that, I like, let me see here. Let me just pull up. There's a couple of the default brushes that I quite like. I know I like Mercury. Yes. Of the Pokemon pack that I like, there's a Plusle brush that I like. There's a Scorbunny brush that I like. But as for the default ones, I like Peppermint for sketching. I've slightly altered them. They're not their base ones, but I like Peppermint for sketching. I like Mercury for line art. I like Spectra for coloring and shading. And I just like the soft brush for gradients. Those are some of the ones that I quite like. What's it with Peters and teaching? You tell me. I guess, yeah, that's a good point. Given your videos, teaching definitely fits. Yay, I'm glad. Okay. Yeah, okay. Borchilla! Yay! Are we still here, Borchilla? Let's see. Oh, yes, we are. Yay. What is a board game you like, but don't want to Pokemonify, either because it would be too complicated to add more rules or because it can't be improved? Sardines. That is the card game that I talked about earlier. It is the Tarot card game that I have, that I learned in the south of France. It's a very niche game. I don't think you will actually find it if you look it up. And I'd love to do a video on it one day. And I keep saying that if I ever do a video on Sardines, the card game, it is probably not even something I'd Pokemonify. It is something that I would just straight up teach you guys how to play my favorite game. Yeah. It is so much so my favorite game that I have made my own custom deck of Tarot cards from way back in high school using my original characters to play this game. You can see how old this deck of cards is. But yeah, like, I'll just quickly kind of show some of them off. This is the deck that I play Sardines with. It's basically just a Tarot deck. So you have 1 to 21 and a Fool. But yeah, you guys might see these cards in the future because I have all these digital art assets and I might just import them to teach you guys how to play Sardines one day. But yeah. The Zane brush is peak. True. Yeah, Aegis with the 2. Thank you so much. Obviously, your favorite brush is the Zane brush. I forgot about that one, but yes, that is a good one. Yeah. There's the Fool. I've talked about this character before. This is one of my favorite characters that I've ever designed. I call him Yester. And he is actually the one that sits on that painting right there because I draw Yester all the time in my own free time. Just a dizzy little bunny, no relation to Spinda. But yeah, this is my Tarot deck. I'm not going to go through the entire deck, I'll just show you the major arcana right now. But yeah, I keep wanting to just tell you guys how to play Sardines, and I know that there's some people in the community just itching to learn. And I'm sorry if I'm overhyping it, but I'm gonna wait for the video because eventually I know I'm gonna do a video. That's it. That's the major arcana. The rest is just a regular deck of cards with suits and stuff. But that is the deck that I use to play my favorite game, Sardines. And if I were to ever do that, I mean, when I do that for the channel, it is probably going to be one of the few games that I don't touch. I'm just going to teach you guys how to play it. How difficult it is to port these games into Tabletop Sim? Not that hard at all. Tabletop Simulator is super innovative in how it handles importing assets and stuff. It tries to make it easier for people because it wants people to do it. From Z-Boss. Other than Zane and the others, who would you have chosen to have been your first PokeTuber to collab with? So apart from the regular group, I don't know. There's a lot of really fun PokeTubers. I guess Purple Cliff would have been a fun one. He's a cool guy. I like his videos. Let's see, Fire H17 or H17. Have you ever been to a convention or do you have plans to in the future? PAX East, Comic-Con, VidCon, Broadway Con, DashCon, FurCon? No, I'm not much of a convention guy. I did go to, what was it called? I went to a VFX convention looking for job opportunities, like in the winter, in the fall, fall. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I don't remember though. Kind of sucked though, because most of the tables were like AI stuff. Not most, but like there was a good chunk of the tables that were like AI is the future, and I was like, okay, well, don't want to work here. But yeah, sorry, not to just skip over that question. Not much of a convention guy. I don't know. In the future, I might be open to it. I looked at visiting Worlds, but it didn't work out this year, so I'm probably not going to do Worlds. But yeah. Mono. Do you think you'll remake some of the board games you've already made? And what would be your reason to remake them? Yes, I would really only do it if I had a good idea for it. As you guys know, I already redid Battleship. And I redid Battleship because I had a good idea for it. And because it was a popular one, you know? If there are popular games that I know people like and I have a good idea to how to do something different with it that's not just a reskin, because that is my #1 rule on the channel, is I don't do reskins. I have to justify the change, and that's what makes it fun. So if I were to ever do another one, I'd have to have a good reason for it. I don't want to tease anything, but maybe there's one of those coming already. One of the games that I am currently sitting on waiting to record is another. I won't say which game, but it's another game that I've already done. Battleship 3 will not confirm or deny. I'm not gonna give you guys anything past that. Yeah, you guys can brainstorm. I mean, there's not many options. There's like 14 games I've done, so it's one of those. Fun FNAF. What is your favorite not well-known board game? I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna say Sardines again. But if I were to pick a second one, oh man, I shouldn't have done this. I'm wasting time now. I like. What else do I like? Let me just look at my shelf. I had to move a lot of my games. Scattergories. I don't know why I haven't talked about Scattergories yet. Scattergories is one of my favorite games that I just feel wouldn't work in a Pokemon format. Well, I don't have a good idea for it. Because it's a largely just writing game. It's a prompt and writing game, so I don't think that there's any art I could really make for it, and I couldn't really do much with it apart from now it's Pokemon themed, so name some Pokemon gym leaders and stuff like that. Maybe that'll change in the future, but I do like Scattergories. It's just one of those ones that doesn't really lend itself to what I do. Viticulture, another good one. Yep, I talked about that earlier. We love Viticulture. Yep, good shout. Cool. Candied Crobats. If you were a gym leader / champion, what would your team be? Why? Do you have any advice for someone who wants to get into Pokemon content creation? Good questions. So I know I said earlier I love normal types. I think I would try to lean into being a normal type gym leader. I think my gym would have a really fun board game themed puzzle to it. And my teammate, my team, I think I would probably do Mousehold. I'd probably do Chansey. I would do I would do Bidoof. What other fun normal types are there? I like Porygon Z a lot. Porygon Z. So I would probably do that. I don't know. I don't need a full team of 6 for the gym. But yeah. What advice would I give to someone who wants to get into Pokemon content creation? It's a tricky one. I don't have the answers, unfortunately. I think so long as you find a niche that you are comfortable with. Of course you do, Chansey. I know, I heard it when I said it. That's why I paused. You kind of seem like a Chinchino kind of fellow. They're okay. But yeah, as far as getting into Pokemon content creation, I think if I could advise anyone to do anything, I would say don't just copy what everyone else is doing. Try to see if you can carve yourself your own little niche and do something new and unique to you. Because that's like, sure, there are people that would love to watch more of stuff that they like, but you'll garner more of an audience, in my opinion, if you find something that you can do alone and that you can do best. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing the board games, because it's, like I mentioned earlier, it feels like it's in the same vein as what my friends do, but like it's very much me, you know? Yeah, from Bruno, what is your opinion on the community tabletop simulator games? Do you see it as encroaching or on your niche, or are you happy to have inspired so many to try to do what you want to do? That is a great follow-up question, especially given what I just said about trying to be unique and do your own thing. I love to see the community games. Guys, I say it every video, there are a lot of classic board games. I could do this for years and I'm not gonna hit them all. I don't let it disincentivize me at all, because I love to see what the community gets up to. I love to see their creativity. It's always a blast to see. If anything, sometimes I see that people have worked on a project that I want to do as well, and I get a little bummed because it's like, oh well, should I still do that? Should I let them have their grace with it? Because I don't want to tread on what other people are doing. So it's like, if you guys make a fan game of a game, there's a good chance that I will probably avoid making that fan game. That's just kind of how it is. Unless I have an idea that feels very different. But yeah. Zelda Rose, if you could have any Pokemon as an IRL companion, but you ended up slightly morphing into said mon, which Pokemon would it be and why? Phalanx? It would be cool to have a Phalanx around, and if I were to slightly morph into them, I guess I'd clone. That would be fun to have some clones of me around. Yeah? Sky Alt Art. Congrats on the 50k. I genuinely respect how accessible your content is, especially considering how difficult it can be to make money through art. When did you realize that making board games was your calling? And if you were to stop making these games, what other kind of project might you be interested in doing? Great question. I don't know. I like, obviously it does kind of feel like it's my comfy space right now, but I've never really thought about board games as like my calling, as weird as that feels to say. Like, it's definitely my favorite thing to do now. And I think I realized that maybe around the time that I first did Ticket to Ride, because I was having fun making the games, but when I got deep into making Ticket to Ride but Pokemon was when I really knew that, one, I felt like I had a knack for it, and two, I just loved doing it. But yeah, and then if I weren't doing the board games, what else would I do? Well, there is another game that, like, I've kind of teased that I've kind of been working on in my own time. I always tell myself that if I could go back and do it all again, I would study video games, because I feel like it would be very fun to make video games, but I am not a coder by any means. I have a kitty that really wants to come into the office. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna let her in. Hola. Oh, you're gonna go right. Okay, I am back. Cola is in here now. I don't know if you guys know, you can't see it, but there's a little cave like under the bed frame here. You're kidding. She just came out. You don't want to leave, do you? You want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? Say hi. Let me give her some scratches. And then she'll hop up here for more scratches. Come on, you're making me look bad. Cool. There she is. Come here. Come here. Don't you want some more pets? There we go. There's a kitty. Show us the kitty. There she is. Cola's not one for getting picked up, so I won't be doing that. Monkey! Monkey! Here. Oh! There goes my phone. That scared her. Oh geez, she ran off. Sorry guys. I picked up my phone to move it and it scared her. Okay, what time are we looking at? 1:08? Okay. Aww. Okay, let's keep the questions rolling, guys. From Shakari. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. What generation is your favorite for any reason, whether it's gameplay, characters, enemies, or Pokemon? Ooh, okay. Gameplay, I love Kanto. That's my favorite. For decks, for like new Pokemon introduced, I love Alola. I think Alola has fantastic decks of so many fun characters. Oh, here's Cola. She's bumping into the mic. Sorry if that's really loud and annoying. Come here. You want pets? People want to see you. Monkey! Sorry, I say monkey when she stands up on her hind legs, which she often does. Come here. Show them your monkey. Monkey! Yes, hello. I lost my train of thought. Ah, yes, I like the Alolan decks. I like, Kanto for games. Bad guys, I think my favorite bad guys are Aqua and Magma. I love them. Alola is underrated because it's different, but I love it. I agree. I don't think that the story of Alola is my favorite, and I think the gameplay kind of chugs in places, but I love the decks. Sorry if that's loud. I know that that is loud. Hola! You keep bumping my mic. But yeah, okay, hopefully that answers that. Let's keep it going. We are at 82 questions right now, so I might call it at 100. What made you think about creating Pokemonified board games in the first place? Yeah, this kind of ties back to when I knew that I wanted to kind of take a shot at doing YouTube. I kind of asked myself, well, what can I do that's different? And I know that I have a lot of board game experience. I had a lot of game nights growing up, and I used to work at a toy company where we sold a lot of board games. Man, I took advantage of that employee discount a lot. So needless to say, board games felt like a pretty natural place for me to spend things. And that was from Accidental Shelf. Thank you for the question there. Sorry, I forgot to say it. From Mysterious Marker. What is your first shiny Pokemon? My first shiny Pokemon was in Ruby, and it was a Zubat, and I didn't catch it. I missed it. I guess what is my my first shiny Pokemon that I really remember grinding for was I Masuda methoded a Beldum in X and Y, and then they gave everybody a free shiny Beldum, and I was so butthurt. But yeah, I randomly encountered a shiny Zubat in Ruby on the Game Boy Advance, and I didn't catch it, and I still beat myself up for that. That was my first shiny. Oops. I don't want to scroll that. I want to do this. Okay, what is one board game you will never make your own version of? I don't think I'd say never to any of them, but like I briefly talked about, I think Scattergories would be a hard one. Cards Against Humanity would be another really hard one. When they're just words and social interactions, like we don't need that to be made the same way that I make the board games. You know, you can just say, play it Pokemon themed. So those types of games are the ones that I don't really touch. And one that I actually, you know what? One that I think I can say I'll never do is Guess Who, because that is Kush's. Kush has been doing Guess Who since before I met him, and I don't want to step on any toes. So I would probably never do Guess Who, because that one's his in my eyes. I have one name. Did you always plan to have your own channel separate from Zane, or was it something that you thought about later and decided to do? Yeah, totally, 100%. I never planned on having my own channel. I never, like, sure, maybe when I was little, I liked the idea of being a YouTuber, but I don't know, I never really considered that like a goal. That was always like, Zane really wanted to make YouTube happen for a long time, and he finally got the break with the Pokemon quiz stuff. And he got big because of it. And because he got big, and because I was doing it so often, I was like, well, why don't I try it out too? Like people, this community is already familiar with me. Like I have a good jumping off point, you know? And I'm glad that it worked out as well as it did. Let's see. You're stranded on a desert island and find a genie lamp. The genie, however, refuses to grant any wishes that have to do with leaving, survival, or anything of the sort. It will, however, grant wishes to help you pass the time or are entertaining. What would your 3 wishes be? Okay, I would probably, I'd probably wish for a powerful computer with internet access. I think that would be a good one. I feel like that's it. Cola, sweetie. I know you want love. Oh, come back. Oh, she ran off. I know how squeaky this mic gets when you move it around. Yeah, a computer with a good computer with internet access could probably solve any amount of boredom that I'd ever have. I don't know, maybe a fun, good buffet. That would be good. And then what else? If I asked for a boat, like, for fun, would he give it to me? For fun sailing reasons? And then maybe I just use it to get away anyways? I honestly don't remember who I found first. I met Zane through Delicious James. Yeah, that's a good point. I'd be very curious to hear, because I know that between the two, most of the people who find me through one of those two. Did you guys find Zane first, or did you guys find the Delicious Boys first? Cole is doing nothing wrong. This is Cole's stream now. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Ice Demon. If every Pokemon were in a list where your favorite is 1 and least favorite is 1025, who is your first, last, and right in the middle? Okay, bit of a different one. I've talked about this before, but my favorite 2 Pokemon are Phalanx and Sableye. and they change constantly. Like every day, if you ask me who my favorite Pokemon is, some days I will say Phalanx, some days I will say Sableye. They are constantly fighting for first place. Last place is definitely Galarian Mr. Mime. I hate Galarian Mr. Mime with a passion. It is the worst regional form. They took an already pretty mon and they just made it garbage. Mr. Rime is fine. But Galarian Mr. Mime just objectively makes Mr. Mime worse. I hate it. Right in the middle, who's inoffensive? Who's the first one that comes to mind? Relicanth? Relicanth comes to mind. No, Relicanth is probably on the higher end of I like Relicanth. Herdier. Herdier. Let's say Herdier. I find Herdier completely inoffensive. Yeah. Wilbur 08. Oh my gosh, I kind of feel like I'm losing my voice, guys, from all this talking. I haven't done this in a long time. Let me drink some water. Let me hydrate. I'm gonna head out. My cats are begging me to play for a bit. Oh, well, thank you for hanging out. Go enjoy those kitties. I'm glad you got to join us. Mr. Mime, but with worse hair and nose. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, they ruined the proportions. There's not many. I think for the most part, regionals have all been an improvement. There's only a couple that are just bad. Don't drown, thank you. Collective hydration. Okay. Were you ever interested in making other types of videos before or while you've been making the board games? If so, will you be making those videos in the near future? Good question. I kind of briefly talked about it earlier, but I have given quite a bit of thought to if I were to do quiz videos, what spin would I put on it to make it feel uniquely mine as opposed to just copying everyone else in my friend group? And I had a pretty fun idea for quizzes. But I recently chatted with Zane about it, and I told him that because I'm so busy with the board games, I probably wouldn't use that idea, and if he wants to, he is more than welcome to try it out. So I would love to see him roll with that idea. I don't want to talk about it in case he does, but maybe if he does it, then maybe I'll mention in the Discord, like, this was the one, guys. This is the one that I had the idea for. Other than that, Pokecriminals. I want to do more Pokecriminals actively. I always want to do more Pokecriminals. I want to do more drawing games. It's just I don't want them to take away from the board games because the board games are the main staple of the channel and I see the Pokecriminals as a side thing. So when I have extra time, I will focus on the side stuff when I can, but until then, I'm just focusing on the board games. But I want to do more Pokecriminals. I'm Tom. How do you choose which Pokemon to incorporate into the board games? Good question. Yeah, this one's a little different than picking the board games. So most of them will speak for themselves. I mean, Unown, I mean, that one, the whole idea was based off the pun. Cosplay Pikachu was a similar situation. I knew I wanted to do Coup with contests, and when I found out that there were 5 Cosplay Pikachu and there are 5 politicians in Coup, it was just perfect. So that one just spoke for itself. When it comes to more like other games, what's a good example? Lumiose Yard only has Zygarde, really, which made sense for the story. That one spoke for itself. What is any sort of example? Ticket to Ride, I guess. Ticket to Ride, because the Pokemon that I picked for those ones, apart from the starters as the pieces, were like routes through the region, right? So you know, I did Horsey to Seadra because I wanted a dragon type in Hoenn, and that's the only option, right? So sometimes Pokemon speak for themselves, other times they fill the niche that I'm looking for, right? And sometimes I just want to draw funny Pokemon, like with Candyland. That's another great one. Well, that was ones, it was what are the food ones and what other ones can I fit in there, right? Oh, Creations! Yo, congrats on the 50k. Really enjoy your art in the Sequence board game. Thank you so much, dude. It's good to see you here. I haven't heard from you in a little while. I think the last time I talked to Oak Creations was in the big kind of meme group call that we had with the Delicious Boys. Great to see you, bud. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. But yeah, like I said, most of the Pokemon that I choose for the board games kind of speak for themselves with the idea, you know? Let's see. What do we got next? Shadow of You on Discord. Are there any board games you've wanted to Pokemonify but haven't been able to figure out how to? Congrats on 500k. 500k, woo, just 50k today, but maybe in the future. Keep up the amazing work, Heart. Good question. I think I will say Clue to that. And I'm not looking for ideas. I don't want you guys bombarding me with ideas because I have had multiple ideas for Clue because I know it's a classic and I know people want to see Clue. But Clue is one of those ones that's so iconic to me that I have to get it right. So I want to make sure that when I do Clue, I do it justice. And I've had a few different ideas for Clue that have ultimately kind of fallen apart. So Clue has been in the works and then out of the works and in the works and out of the works. And right now it is in a spot where I don't like the idea that I currently have for it. I want to find something better for it. But I will probably do Clue one day. Pardon me, I feel like I'm losing my voice. I will probably do Clue one day. Just know that it might take a little bit because I'm still trying to figure out how to do it right. I have no doubts that you'll reach 100k. Thank you so much. Okay. From Lunar Tofu, what is your biggest inspiration when it comes to art? Man, is it a cop-out to just say Pokemon? Like, I love the art of Pokemon. I love Pokemon cards because I love that they encourage a variety of different art styles. I love genres that just have large casts of characters. I love critters and I love creatures. And Pokemon just ticks all of those boxes. And the fact that it incorporates like culture and biodiversity into all of that is just so pleasing. And puns and the names and the theming of the elements, it just itches every part of my brain. I love Pokemon. It's constantly inspiring me. From CG Shadow, date, marry, release for Chansey, Miltank, and the Peebdoof. Oh man. Oh man. I think I'd probably date the Chansey, marry the Peebdoof, release the Miltank. I think that's what we'd do there. Good question. That's a tricky one though. A very tricky one. I couldn't release Peebdoof. I couldn't do it. If we were just talking any Bidoof, then maybe, but not Peebdoof. I'm almost concerned that people had to think so hard. What time are we at? We're at 124. Okay, guys, we're at 93. I'm gonna try to power through these last 7, and then we're gonna have to call it for today because I gotta record today. Is there any content creator you hope to collab with in the future or collab with more? Be it in your content or theirs. It's been an amazing opportunity to hang out with Cheesy and his group of friends recently. Jeremy, Elena, those peeps. I would love to hang out with them more and spend more time getting to know them because I was a big fan of that group for years and it's surreal to just talk with them. Pardon me. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I do have plans to stream with Cheesy again in the future. Looking forward to that. That should actually be like, what, a week from today? I think so, a week from today. We're going to do another Pokemon Gardex stream on the 24th. Is that when it is? Yes, on the 24th, we're doing another Pokemon Gardex stream with Cheesy and the lads. I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same group as last time, but it might be. So we'll see. Maybe some new peeps, maybe the same peeps. But yeah. I would love to play more games with them and get to know them better because they're all great people and they seem very fun and funny. Yeah. What got you into art? What keeps you inspired? Oh man, tricky question. I just loved to doodle when I was a kid. I just loved to doodle when I was little. I think I've talked about it a few times now, but I love the Lilo and Stitch animated show. Every time a new experiment or one of Stitch's cousins was featured in an episode, I had this really long scroll of printer paper that I had taped together where I'd just draw the new experiment, new cousin on it. And like I'd roll it up like a big scroll. And I think my parents still have that tucked away in the basement somewhere. I used to love to design like little robots, like draw little robots as a kid that would do different things. And of course, Pokemon. I loved Pokemon. Yeah. Hebert Koifish, I'm new here. What do we do on this channel? We play a lot of board games. We also draw, and today we are hanging out and we are celebrating the milestone that is 50,000 subscribers. Ruben Mention! Yeah, Ruben would be awesome to meet. Yeah. So how do you properly take care of a mustache? I believe you are an expert in the topic. Thank you. I don't do much with my mustache. I groom it every once in a while. And by that, I just mean that I have a pair of like mustache scissors that like it's really messy right now. Actually, I didn't groom today, but like I try to keep it at a straight line. You can see that it's like really bumpy at the bottom of my lip right now, but good question. That's a fun one. From Chili Keanu. If you didn't focus on Pokemon, what franchise would be your runner-up to make content about? I think it would probably be Disney stuff, to be completely honest. I love, or Cartoon Network stuff. One of the animation channels. Because I love Disney animated stuff, and I love Cartoon Network animated stuff. Big Ben 10 fan. Big Lilo and Stitch fan. Sorry, absolutely smacked the shit out of my mic there. But yeah, it would probably be animation in some regard. I don't apart from Pokemon, I don't think it would be a specific franchise, but rather a company like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or Disney, something like that. Let's see here from Eli Taze, or from Eli Taze. What made you originally want to start messing around with YouTube stuff and with Zane? Additionally, what is the worst board game you've played? We've already talked about the worst board game, so I'm gonna skip over that part. But what originally made me want to start messing around with YouTube stuff with Zane? He just would invite me. We would, like I mentioned before I knew Zane, before all the YouTube stuff, we just loved to hop on calls and brainstorm stuff. And so we'd brainstorm these games all the time, and you know, he would always want to be taking a shot at YouTube, trying different YouTube stuff, whether it be gaming, whether it be quizzes. He'd always just invite me, and with the free time that I had back then, I'd just play games with him. I'd always be down, you know? And so eventually it just kicked off and it worked, and there goes Cola. Eventually it worked. But yeah. Okay, we got two more from Lobster Fairy. What's one fun thing about yourself that you haven't told us yet? EX, what is your favorite late night snack, or do you have a favorite band growing up? Oh, okay. I can't speak to anything I know I haven't talked about. Okay, late night snack. I am a cookie fiend. I'm a chocolate chip cookie fiend. For my birthday every year, people always like to get me special kinds of cookies. Not like the weird fancy kind, but like nice home baked cookies. Mrs. Koifish bakes a mean batch of chocolate chip cookies. I am a cookie connoisseur, so that is a fun one I don't think I've talked about. And what is my favorite band growing up? I think I might have talked about this, but I love me some electro swing. So we're talking Perov Stellar, we're talking Caravan Palace. Love them. They are great bands. And if you haven't heard of them, and if you like electro swing, those are the bands to listen to. Are the quizzes scripted? I'm seeing in chat. Absolutely not. Not at all. No, everything you guys see is natural. If anything, sometime, I think maybe once before, I couldn't even tell you what quiz it was. I think one time Kush gave an answer And Zane was like, damn, I like that answer better. I'm going to make that the answer. And he just did. And he edited it so that it looked like Kush just got it right. That is like that is the most scripted that a quiz has ever gotten. Hi, Peeber. Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much. I love Caravan Palace. Caravan Palace mentioned, yes, real, recognize real. We love it in the chat. I support oatmeal raisin. You wrong for that. That's not a chocolate chip cookie. That's not a real one. Do you have a sweet tooth in general, or is it specifically cookies? I used to have a big sweet tooth, but as I've gotten older, it has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, and now I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I still love cookies. Yeah. Amazing answer. Thank you for your time, sir. Awesome. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you're here to hear it live. I love it when people are here to hear their questions live. Okay, we got two. We're doing two more. This is 99, and then we'll do 100. From Kebab. Ever since y'all started collaborating with the James guys, you slowly changed from Peter to Peeber. How did that change come to be, / who suggested the idea? No one person suggested it. If anything, I guess I suggested it. But basically, originally when it was just the early yucks of both Peter and I being in the same video, we had our fun with pretending to not be each other, but, you know, both respond when Peter is called. But we knew that bit couldn't roll forever, and it genuinely did get a little confusing, constantly being like Peter and both of us being like, huh, because we don't know who's being talked to. I made the swap to Peeber because my channel is called Peeber Koifish. Peeber is kind of my nickname. Delicious Peter does not have that. You may remember early in those collab days, we would refer to him as Delicious Peter, but that's kind of a mouthful. And I'll still refer to him as Delicious Peter, but now I think it is more common for him to be Peter and me to be Peeber, and that's just how we separate it. And because he didn't have a nickname and because I did have a nickname, so I'm more than happy to, I guess, surrender the name to him. But you're right, that was a very fun, kind of little awkward interaction. And it is, I'm still getting used to people calling me Peeber when we're all together. Yeah, but I still respond to both. I still respond to Peter and Peeber. Okay, last question, 100th question, and then we're gonna have to call it, guys. Harrison and Stars asks, are there any art YouTubers that you want to collab with? I think you and Drawfee could work really well together. I think Drawfee and I could work really well together too. I think it would be very fun to work with them. True Green 7 does a lot of very fun stuff. It would be very fun to do stuff with them. The only reason I haven't is because Ron likes to put out applications for his drawing stuff, and I just haven't had the time to put an application video together. So who knows, maybe if I ever end up chatting with him, I know he's collabed with the Delicious Boys, so maybe if we ever end up meeting, I could just talk to him. Shout out to Sterninator. Love Stern. He was a good Instagram buddy back in the day. I love popping in and checking out his streams every once in a while. I would totally love to do some drawing stuff with him. Who else? Subjectively seems fun. I like their stuff. We already mentioned the Drawfee people. Man. Now I know that Peeber loves Electro Swing. I wonder what he thinks of Jacynth's theme in Legend ZA. It's the best fucking theme in Pokemon. That's what I think of it. It's awesome. Hey, you know what? If I could get a little spicy here, you know what I think about Jacynth? I think that Jacynth brought out a lot of fake Electro Swing fans. Because I think I've been fucking diehard Electro Swing for like 20 years, man. And it feels like such an underrated, underrepresented genre. And when Jacynth had an Electro Swing theme, I lost my shit. And there were so many people that crawled out of the woodwork like, I love Electro Swing, it's my favorite. And I'm just sitting here like, really? You've never been vocal about it? Like, so I just think that there's a lot. Anyways, that's my tea. I think that there's a lot of fake Electro Swing fans, or maybe people that just didn't realize that they liked it as much as they did, because it is a bop. Yeah, I think that's, oh man, there's so many good art YouTubers. It was a pleasure to draw with Jumbo, Bromo Jumbo on Instagram. Nordist would be fun to draw with. I reached out to him about at one point about doing Poke Criminals. He was just busy around the time that I asked him. And like I said, Poke Criminals has kind of been put on the clothesline for now. But yeah, lots of very talented artist people. Radical Soda as well. Would be fun. Yeah. Shrimp, thank you so much for the 5. Congrats, Peeper. Always great to catch a stream. You've gotten so much more confident. It's been great to see. Thank you for all the content. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that as well. I know that I have in the past talked about how shy I get on streams, and it is wild to be able to say that I am finally at a point where I am like genuinely comfortable doing this now. I need more Poke Criminals. Believe me, I want to do more Poke Criminals. I really, really, really do. I really do. Maybe I do need to look for an editor. Maybe I need to see what can be done. Because I don't think if I did Pokemon Criminals, I could do it myself. I think I'd have to get an editor to help me out with that. Because between that and all the board game stuff, it's just I don't have the time in my schedule to... Filming it is easy enough. I can do that in an afternoon. I can get 4 people together. We can play the game in a couple hours. Easy. It's just editing that takes so much time. Peeper, you have grown so much in the streams. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you. I thought you were gonna say Jumbo Diaz. Yeah, a lot of people thought that in my a lot of people thought that in the announcement for 50k that I met where I was thanking people. I thanked Jumbo there as well, and people were like, Jumbo Diaz? Like, no, Bromo Jumbo on Instagram. Go check him out, guys. Okay. Wow, we got through about a fourth. There's almost 400 responses to this survey. I gotta close this, I think. Thank you all for the questions. Like I said, I want to answer more of these questions. I think that maybe, if anything, I will pull this form back up when we do the next mouse stream. I think that these are great discussion topics for mouse streams. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna have to call it. I gotta go get ready. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all so very much for helping us get to this milestone, 50k. Can't believe it. And thank you all for the kind words and the celebrations today. It's really awesome. I don't get to chat with chat as much as I want to these days. But there are going to be a lot more streams coming. I won't go too much into details about the whole situation, but there's a really wonky thing going on with my building right now where the elevator is basically needing to be replaced for repairs. And as a result, baby Koifish and Mrs. Koifish are going on a vacation to stay with the in-laws so that they don't have to deal with the elevator being out of service. But I'm gonna stay here so that I can work and take care of the cats. So basically it's gonna be a few weeks of me just by myself with the cats. So, you know, it's gonna suck to be away from them. I can go visit them, but it's gonna suck to be away from them. But I guess the silver lining is I will have more time for streams and I will have more time to just hard focus some board games for a little bit. But yeah. So stay tuned for more, because there will be plenty more on the horizon. And yeah. No, I don't want to end it on the sad note. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation, but you know, elevators got to be fixed. So elevator repairs get super loud. I hadn't even really considered that. I'm pretty high up, so maybe because they're working on like the actual motor and stuff, it'll be closer to the base of the building. Peeper's gonna be a crazy cat lady by the time Ms. Koifish comes home, for real. Literally, I'm gonna have like twice as many cats. Oh, I didn't even realize Cola's still sitting on the bed here. Can you see her? She's a lot more visible on this blanket. But yeah. Cool. Okay, it's 1:40. That gives me 20 minutes to get everything ready. Good lord. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me move us over here. I'm gonna say thank you all again so much. I see so many more questions. What floor do you live on? Get ready to move from the 1st to the 10th. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm fortunately only on the 5th floor of my building, but still, that's quite a bit of stairs to deal with. And we don't want baby koi fish to have to deal with the stairs every day. So that's part of the reason why they're going. Anyways, okay. I gotta go. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for being you. And thank you for inspiring me to continue doing this as well. Much love to everyone here and everyone not as well. But yeah, I will bid you adieu for today, and I will chat with you another time, guys. See ya. Bye.